Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book 91. We are here sitting down with Donald from Ready to Love, Make a Move. Yes, this series has been one of those epic ones where twists and turns have taken place. And if you have watched this particular season, you know that Donald was dating Ashley and it got a little tasty. So tasty, she said, listen, at one point she might slap the taste out of his mouth. Now I'm paraphrasing, that's not what she said. But, you know, there were some words that were said at a certain point. But we're going to have a sit-down conversation with Donald, get his perspective, try to understand where he's coming from and what he's been through, and then talk a little bit about his journey on Ready to Love, Make a Move. As always, people, please keep it classy, keep it cute, and keep it friendly in the chat as always. The moderators, you have the ability to moderate, so moderate effectively, please. All right? Donald, how you doing today, man?
Good. I'm doing real good.
That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. Captain, listen, it's good to have you on here, and I can't wait to jump into some real conversation. But before we do, we like to do a thing here called human verification. It's just a little thing that we do here. Make sure you're not AI. Make sure you're not a robot. You know, we've got to make sure you're human. Is that okay?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, so I've got a few questions for you. First question is, okay, all right, you're on a plane. The plane has to make an emergency landing. You know, recently there's a little plane that the door burst open. So listen, anything can happen in this day and age. So there's emergency landing, but it can land anywhere in the globe. Where would you want that plane to land for you?
An emergency landing.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere in the globe, if it's an emergency, I would want it to land as close to home as possible.
Okay. Let me rephrase that question.
Oh.
It's not necessarily an emergency, but they're saying you have to land somewhere nice that you can go to. It's not about an emergency land in terms of survival.
Okay.
Just a nice place it can land.
All right. Okay.
Where would you want it to land?
Where would I want it to land? I think I want it to land somewhere in the Caribbean. Maybe Bahamas, maybe Jamaica, anywhere in the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean, so I could see myself, getting stuck there for a little bit.
I love that. Okay. Any particular country in the Caribbeans?
Whoever got the bluest water. That's
Whoever got the bluest water.
The blue
There's
water
a lot of them.
for
Can't
me.
lie
Right?
to you.
That's what I'm saying.
He said any of the ones got blue waters, I'll go there. There. I'm with you. I ain't playing with you. I'm with you. All right, cool. Question number two. Favorite color?
My favorite color is navy blue.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Navy blue. Okay. Is that in wearing clothes or is that just in general?
I think mainly in wearing clothes, but I think also in general. But you don't really find a lot of navy blue items, I guess. You know,
Do you have a navy blue suit?
I do. It's actually one of my first suits was navy blue. To me, it looks cleaner than black. To me, and I feel better, when I got it on. So
I'm not mad at it. I'm with you. All right. Next question. Favorite type of shoe to wear?
Let's see. You got your hard bottom loafers. You got your soft bottom loafers. You got the loafer slides with the heel out.
Okay.
You got your loafer breads.
Got a lot of loafers right here, sir.
You got the days loaves, No,
a lot of loaves.
Right. I like all sneakers, not sneakers. I'm sorry. I like all types of shoes, but summertime when it's hot and I'm dressing casual, I'll go for my loafers first before my sneakers. So
I hear that.
But wintertime, spring, sneakers, Chelsea boots, Timbs,
The usuals.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm not even mad at it. All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, I like it. All right, for you, favorite drink?
I don't drink alcohol, so
Same. Same.
yeah. My go-to drink when I'm out is Sprite with no ice. Shout out to Mike.
A Sprite with no ice.
Sprite with no ice.
No. A Sprite with no ice, sir.
Yes, no ice. You know the ice is gonna dilute it, which I don't want. So I
You are
like
a dangerous man.
and not just not any Sprite. It gotta be McDonald's Sprite.
Yeah, you definitely a dangerous
McDonald's
man.
Sprite. Got that lightning in it.
You a dangerous person. You're telling me you like Sprite, no ice.
Correct. No ice in my
That
Sprite.
drink is like a wallpaper stripping drink in your throat. It is not it's not a eloquent drink at all. You drink that, I know you're a dangerous person. You can survive all weathers and all storms.
Right. I think it helps with my immune system. I think that that strong taste and feeling it boosts your immune system up. So
I won't be surprised. I won't be
right.
surprised. You know what I mean? Even me right
Ironically
now, I'm
though.
drinking some Malt Guinness, so
Oh nice.
it's not alcoholic. It's not alcoholic. I
Got it.
don't drink. So wait, why don't you drink?
I just never had a desire for it. It just
Fair play.
never hit me. I never said, "Oh, I got to try that. I need to drink that." Back in college, nobody could accept that. So everybody had their own story they made up. Oh, you don't drink because you had a drunk in the family. I just be like, yeah. I just, whatever they said, I just went along with it because they couldn't accept. I just didn't desire to drink.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't drink either, so I understand that point.
yeah.
That's a fair point. I got you on that one. All right. So favorite meal?
That's tough. I don't think I have a favorite, but I have a go-to. Like
Ooh.
a good burger, I can go for anytime.
Okay.
Good
Good burger.
burger.
What burger you going for though, bro? Are we going for the double patty here?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh,
A little bit of cheese on there as well.
Five Guys has an amazing burger. That's one of my favorites. And I love the cruise, right? So Carnival has a restaurant called Guy's Burgers on there, and that's the best burger you can get at sea. That is the
Jeez.
first. Every time I get on a cruise ship, that is the first stop.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not
Yeah,
mad at it. I'm a burger person too. I know Five Guys. I love their. I get a double cheeseburger when I'm there. That stuff be slapping. I'll be doing that and going to the cinema. I take my Five Guys burger, go and watch
yeah,
a movie. I enjoy myself, man. You know what I mean? No one can tell me nothing, so I'm not really
right.
mad at it.
Wait, you
That's
you
essential.
sneak your burger into the movies?
We don't sneak. We walk it right past them.
Got
What you gonna do about it?
right,
Nothing. It's in your rules. We can bring food.
right.
Yeah, no, we do. I put it in my bag. They don't know. Do you know what I mean? You can't. You can bring cold food. And you can't bring in hot food. Apparently, to cinemas. So in UK,
Right.
you can bring your own food in. You just can't bring in hot food.
Oh,
So that
nice,
is actually the rule. Yeah, most of us didn't know that until later on. But you can bring your own food. I bring my own popcorn. Bring my
nice.
own drinks. Because ain't nobody spending like a good $20 in that place. Okay.
Right on one item.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I mean? So for me, it ain't gonna work. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Yeah. So for you, it's a go-to burger. Okay, if it was your last meal though, would it be a go-to burger that you would go to? If it was your last meal ever?
Last meal ever. Um. Ah, that's a tough one. As much as I love a burger, I've been on my health journey since
Come on.
May of last year.
Well
So I've
done,
been
sir.
cooking, at home, mostly
Jeez.
chicken. So I really haven't eaten a lot of restaurants, and especially I cut out like all fast food. So it's hard for me to remember, what was my go-to that I would just like, I gotta have this. Um,
It's been so long.
yeah, it's been a long time. But last meal, ah, I'm probably gonna have to stick with Five Guys. If this is my last meal, I'm probably gonna
That's
quadruple.
the last meal. I'm gonna take four.
Right, yeah. I can enjoy this.
That's fair. That's fair. Final question: cereal or the milk in the bowl first?
Cereal.
I'm with it.
Because
Any particular cereals?
I actually haven't eaten cereal in a long time either. It's been a very long
Lactose
time.
intolerant.
I wasn't, but I think because I cut out cereal, that's the only time I was drinking milk with cereal. And because I hadn't ate it in years, I think I became lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerant. That's a
Yeah,
black people thing, boy.
right. But
Starts well good.
there was a cereal that I don't believe they make anymore. It used to be called Waffle Crisp. It had the old ladies on the box, and like it was like literally the shape of a waffle. It was epic. Like that was my favorite cereal. Like whoever Kellogg, Post, whoever make that, y'all need to bring that back.
Come and bring that back, guys, so we can get Donald back on these cereals.
Right, right.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Well, listen, look, you've passed our human verification. I believe you're a human being. You've passed with flying colors. Let's get into some conversation because you know what? Outside of RTL, you know, Donald is a whole individual person who's achieved many things. So we want to be able to get to know you, understand your story before you reach the point of RTL Make a Move season 1. So, Donald, if I ask the question, who is Donald and what is Donald's story?
Donald Wilson. I'm from a very small town called Dixmoor, Illinois. It's about 30 minutes south of Chicago. I was there until I was 10 years old, and then I moved to Indiana for a short year. And then I moved to Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's where I spent my teenage years, middle school, high school. Graduated, and then I moved to Charlotte for college. I attended UNC Charlotte. Started off on the acting track in college.
Oh, wow.
Didn't really know what I wanted to do as a career outside of acting. In my final year in college, I got into videography. Bought a camera. One of my friends, Devin, he told me kind of camera to get. You got these settings, these specs on it. I went and grabbed one, and I kind of fell behind the camera. Started doing the videography only, and then I eventually got into photography as well because it was a photography camera first that just happened to shoot video. And essentially self-taught ever since then.
Wow.
And I've been doing it full time for this is year 11. And that's been, like I said, it's what I've been doing the last decade. As far as a career, personally, I have one twin brother, fraternal twin. His name is actually Ronald. I was married once before, a long time ago when I was 21. Clearly, I told Ashley that, and the big shocker. Right, yeah. Hasn't happened since. I've dated, had girlfriends. It just never worked out. And everything changed exactly 4 years ago from yesterday. That's when I ended my last relationship. And that's when I had my self-revelations, that I didn't love myself. I had no boundaries. I never put myself first. I always put myself last, whether it's friendships, relationships, family, whatever it was. I put down on last. And then ever since then, I did like I said, my introspection, my revelations, and I put me first now all the time. And, and people think when you put yourself first, when they hear that, they think it's a negative thing, but it's not necessarily negative. If you want the best version of me, then I need to be the best version of me for me, which means I have to put me first. Like if it's something's making me unhappy or I don't want to do something, then I don't have to do it, or, I don't have to be part of it if I don't want to. So
that's a journey.
Yeah.
No, go
Yeah,
for it,
definitely. And because I was single, I happened to be in New Orleans when they were casting for the show, and I tried to look for love on TV. So that is my journey in a simple form, I guess.
I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your story with us as well. I guess obviously, what's intriguing, obviously, like I said, you're an acting track, which I also did a bit of acting back in the day, in the videography, self-taught. You said about your twin, married at 21. You've also, like I said, had to do some introspective work on yourself, because you realized, 4 years to yesterday, that Donald needed to have a different change. He needed to have better boundaries and put himself first, and be a changed individual person. 4 years obviously ago, right? You
Right.
make that decision.
Hmm.
But let's scoot all the way back before that point. How do we get to the point where Donald has no boundaries and puts himself last and doesn't put himself first, and you know is in that space?
Uh, that's a tough one. Um, uh, if I had to really think about it, I think it might stem from my childhood. Um, you know, uh, because I had a twin, I was honestly very codependent when I was younger.
Ooh.
Um, you know, very hard to do things without my brother. Um, and to be honest, he was he was the favorite. Um, and it showed throughout a lot of family members. Um, so I think it has to stem from right there. Me never feeling like I'm good enough, me feeling like I have to go above and beyond to keep a friendship, keep a relationship, even when it's not for me, just to keep it going, to keep it connected. Like I said, in 2020, when I had my self revelations, there was a lot of friendships I had to end because in doing my introspection, I realized that these friendships were one sided. It's me constantly doing for them. And when I ask them for the simplest of things, it's a problem. It's an excuse. It can't get done for some reason. So, when all of that ended, and then, of course, the pandemic happened. So I had to sit in all of that, all of these thoughts, all of these experiences that I've been through, and do the self work. And fortunately, I had the time to do it because of the pandemic. There's no work, there's no shoots, no gigs, there's nothing. I am at home in my apartment asking Donald, how did I get here? And thankfully, I was able to figure it out.
Was that a tough? How tough? Sorry, let me not say that. How tough was that journey to undertake, and having to explore the fact that these relationships are now one-sided? So having to take that. Let me ask. That's two questions, but let me ask the first one, which is how tough was it to undertake that journey of self-discovery and improvement for you at the time?
Um, Looking back at it, it wasn't tough in the revelation. The tough part was dealing with all of this for several decades prior. You know, extending relationships way beyond their deadline. You know, constantly looking out for friends who don't look out for me. Um, just dealing with people in ways I shouldn't have dealt with them. Um, because of how they dealt with me. So when it's time to, sit and introspect, it's the tough part was just realizing that it was one sided. I'm like, yo, like I had one friend, right? We was rocking heavy, and I am taking this dude to work, let him borrow, money a lot of times. Anything he asked of me, I constantly looked out for him and did it. And I asked him, and I'm a firm believer in only asking somebody for a favor, or can they do something for you that's within their power. Hey, yo, can you come help me move this new couch into my apartment? That's within your power. hey, yo, can I borrow $500? That may not be within your power. You see what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
only ask. I know I can pretty much, gauge what's in their power and what's not. And I would never ask nobody beyond something I believe that they can do. So if I'm asking you for a very small favor, as in, can you come help me with this couch? And hey, yo, how heavy is it? Yo, is there anybody else? Yo, when you trying to move it? How long is this gonna take? You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting those kind of excuses, from a lot of people I consider friends. And then, ironically, the things that made me realize that I didn't love myself was it's actually a couple of TV shows. The Avatar, The Last
Oh.
Airbender,
Mm.
not the blue people, but the Airbender. Um,
Mm.
I binged it, right? Because I had time, so I binged it, and I realized like me and Prince Zuko were we essentially went through the same thing, outside of me trying to capture somebody.
Yeah.
um, but Zuko was he was lost,
Mm.
and he tried his hardest to win back, his father's good graces. That was his whole goal. And an abusive father at that.
Mm-hmm.
He tried his hardest to win back his father's good graces. His father cast him out. He said the only way you can come back into the family is if you capture the Avatar.
Yeah.
And of course, the Prince Zuko's dad sends his brother with him, Uncle Iroh. And throughout their journey, at the end, Zuko realizes that Iroh was the father he actually needed this entire time. And Zuko was the son that Iroh needed that he lost. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's just a journey of self-revelation. It's just a lot of things Zuko went through. I'm looking at it. I found, yo, that's me. I went through the same things. I'm over here. Who would think, you'd be watching a freaking cartoon and you're bawling crying one day on one episode because you're watching
It's
yourself on
making
TV right now.
sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a huge, huge one. The other show that helped me change or realize it was uh the robots. Westworld. Um
Yo,
yeah,
this was
Westworld.
a
That
show, bro.
Westworld made me realize I was living in fear my entire life and
Mm.
operating in fear. Because
Mm.
there's these robots to where somebody else is telling them their story. Somebody else is controlling their story. So once they woke up, became conscious, they just want equality. They just want to fight and control their own narrative.
Yeah.
So, for me, I found myself like I always put myself in putting myself last, somebody else was telling my narrative. They're telling me, I'm not good enough or not even telling me I'm not good enough, just their actions and certain words, are making me feel like I'm not good enough and I'm just, putting up with it. You know what I'm saying? So I was prior to 2020, I was the robot to where people got to say and do whatever to me, and I just take it, take it, take it, and I reset every day and hope we'll still be connected. And in
Mm.
2020, I woke up and started choosing my own path and own destiny and said, nah, I'm good on y'all. So, I'm not sure if the viewers even, watch these
No, they're getting it.
shows or whatnot, but
They're getting it.
it was definitely those two shows tremendously helped me out. So, shout out to the creators of the shows and the people who who told me to watch Westworld. I've been, saw Avatar when I was younger when it came out. Um, but those two helped me tremendously, honestly.
I love the fact that you can find a revelation in a show. Um, it shows for me growth, but it also shows as well an empathic nature too, to be able to decipher the key lessons in Avatar and Westworld. You know what I mean? Like, like yourself, I tend to find a lot of good lessons in TV shows. That's why we interview people from reality TV, and we love watching TV series because we identify with some of the themes and the ideas within those shows. But the fact that you can even get revelation to start looking at yourself introspectively says a lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
It means that you're going to be somebody that's going to be committed to growth because you understand that anything can teach you. You know what I mean? Anything can teach you. And I love that you were able to share that perspective as well. I want to ask a question, obviously, then. So take me back then. Okay, so young Donald, you're a twin. What was Donald's dream, if you had one? What was Donald's dream?
I think when I was younger, I always liked science and math. I think I wanted to be a scientist. I loved the stars. I loved astrology. I think when I was little, I think I wanted to be a scientist until I found out how much math was involved in it. Too much math. That's what I remember wanting to be when I was little, a scientist.
Scientist, I like it. Any particular thing you said you wanted to go into astrology, but was it going into the body biology? Was it into the chemistry part? Was it into the for you? What was it?
I don't even maybe chemistry. I think for some reason, I don't know, I just had in my mind that I wanted to wear this white coat and mix these chemicals up. And do that. Right, yeah. So I'm just thinking like, yo, that's a cool job to be a scientist. Your hypotheses and discovering things and, things that can benefit society. Or even just also maybe could have been an inventor as well. I think when I was little, I always wanted to invent something, that could either help me, my family, my community, whatever. So it was either inventor or scientist.
I love that. And obviously, right now, occupation-wise, you're into videography. Is that what you're into now?
Yes.
So that means that it's not exactly far. I mean, there's a science to photography.
Yeah, it's the science of light.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a light scientist right now.
Path. Yeah. You're on a good path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're on a good path. So yeah, I mean, what do you think when you look back at now? Oh, I should say when you look now. Obviously, you're doing videography. Is that your passion? Would you say videography and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, definitely is my passion. That's why I've been sticking with it for so long. Photography as well. Equally, they both have their own merits. Yeah. Now editing, my God, editing has shifted me a little bit. Everybody who edits knows what I'm talking about. That has shifted me almost away from it. Like I got burned out twice, and I'm now considering, I still love to shoot. So moving forward, I'm gonna ideally be shooting for other companies and other people and kind of just handing off the footage, and they do what they need to do with it. And I'm out of it at that point. So more so, just DP work, director of photography. I think that's where I want to be at for now. And I also want to get back in front of the camera as well with acting, but more so, narrative storytelling. So films, short films, features, TV shows. That's the path I would love to go.
What's it like? So I'm a bit of an actor as well. I'm a bit of an actor. I love my acting as well. So for you personally, what does acting do for you? Because I know it does for me, but what does it do for you acting wise?
Acting lets me, become a part of a story that I find interest in. It lets me engulf in that. I have a short film that I did called The Sound of Silence. It's about a man who lost his wife. She passed, and he's dealing with the grieving process. And I play, the main character, and honestly, the filming part was on a whim, but once I put it all together, I was able to tell a complete story that that I was proud of, and I was like, yo, this is. And when I'm showing people, right, I'm at a film festival in New Orleans, and people are asking me, yo, did this really happen? And this is a fictional story, so it's like, I think I love the storytelling element the most out of acting. And granted, it's a full uh, collective team in filmmaking. Um, but I just love to be able to tell stories that impact people. So
you love to tell stories so that you can, because you appreciate the impact it makes on people.
yes.
Interesting. So tell us a story about, obviously, how, like you mentioned your twin. So I want to know what it's like growing up with a twin, because I don't have a twin. I'm a single individual, came out the womb by myself, so I beat everyone else to it. But obviously for you, the story about the twin. I want to know, what's it like growing up with a twin, and what was your experience growing up with your twin brother, as well, Ronald?
The very first thing is my mom didn't even know she was having twins until she had us. Because me and my brother had the exact same heartbeat. So when they did, I don't think they did an ultrasound back then. I'm not even sure if it was available.
Wow.
But the little stethoscope joint, we had one heartbeat. So they thought it was one, baby. Then I came out first, and then it was like, yo, you got another one coming. And, she was shocked. My whole family was shocked. But growing up with a twin, you got a friend literally in the same house, same room, always with you. You're never alone, never by yourself. Ironically, me and him are extremely different, like night and day.
How
And
so?
not even same day. Like I'm today's day, he's tomorrow's night. Like, uh,
In what capacity?
just the way we think, the way we operate, our likes, our dislikes. I'm outgoing. I'm a creative. I like to speak. This show, my brother would have never done this. Would have never done this. He's more reserved. He's quiet. Um, he's open around friends and family, but like a stranger, he's kind of closed off. And I used to be the exact same way. And once I got to college, I kind of broke out of my shell. So he's how I used to be. He's still like that. But yeah, we just our interests. He can care less. He don't like photos at all. He don't like his photo taken. I love my photo taken. Our taste in women is very different. Just there's a very small amount of things that me and him both like and enjoy. So
that's quite interesting. So you got your twins, but you have completely different, almost like the ways of operating, right?
yes.
You're far more outgoing. He's a bit more quieter, if you want to call it that, or more, quote unquote, you might say more introverted in that sense as well.
Yeah.
But then obviously, you mentioned obviously him being the favorite. How did that work out to him being the favorite if he's the one that's probably less enigmatic and the one that seems to be more quieter? How did he steal the show in this particular aspect? When I steal the show, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So ironically, when we were younger, he was outgoing, talkative, rebellious. We switched. We literally, I always say we switched roles. When we were younger, I was the quiet, reserved one. He was the rebellious, talkative, friends, always want to do something, get into something, and we literally just switched. Like, matter of fact, when I was younger, I hated roller coasters, but he loved them. And then when we got older, he hates roller coasters now, and I love them. So with him being the favorite, that's really just a revelation of now. Like back when in 2020, when I did my introspection,
Yeah.
that's me just realizing, looking back, like he got treated differently than I did. He got treated better than I did. You know, when I was in high school, right? Matter of fact, so 2020 again, I'm realizing I'm on the phone with my homeboy and we talking about something. I said something or he said something, and it just literally dawned on me like that, So I'm from Fayetteville, right? 2005, Fayetteville, there's not a lot going on. In my head, and I think a lot of my friends too, if you're still in Fayetteville after 2005, you're stuck there. And not in a negative way. Not that's not a diss or slight to anybody who's still there. It's just, I guess the creative realm just was not cultivated in Fayetteville in 2005. So it's like, yo, nah, you gotta, if you want to do something, big, you got to go to a different city. So the whole time I'm just, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I have to move. I cannot stay in Fayetteville any longer. The moment I graduate, I'm gone and I'm never coming back. That was my thought process, right? But in 2020, when I was on the phone with my friend, I realized I wanted to get away from Fayetteville so bad because of how I was being treated at home. That was actually my driving force. Also, I can't hear you. Or
Oh no, no.
okay, okay, all right. Yeah, that was my driving force. Like I said, I realized that in 2020, all my younger cousins, right? I truly feel like I missed their childhood because I wanted to get away from home so bad. Like the times I had to come back home, after the summer after freshman year, I think I came home for that summer, and that was the final summer I came home. And after that, I was in Fayetteville for less than 12 hours. I did not spend the night. I'll drive down, top of the day, bottom of the night, I'm back in Charlotte, back in school, back on the campus, just having to not be at home.
Yeah. No safe
So,
space.
right, yeah. So, and when I say, I was being treated, it was, I'm getting treated less than, you know, which, in reality shouldn't have happened. If, I don't know, we're we're twins, we're brothers, like, why are we being treated differently? Why are we being treated less than equally?
Did it come to light why you were being treated differently eventually, or is that something that is still up in the air?
Um, it's still in the air. Well, I actually do know why. That's not something I want to disclose at the moment.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So I do know why, and um, I've approached certain, parties involved with that, and of course, accountability was denied. So it's it's whatever at this point.
I mean, I guess you can I guess describe, okay, within however you want to do it. How would you describe your relationship with both mum and dad then in that respect, if there was a
Um,
relationship there?
so both my parents actually passed when I was young,
Oh,
and I was
sorry to
actually
hear that.
raised by my grandma and my aunt.
Sorry to
Um,
hear that.
my grandma, she was one of the very few people who treated me and my brother truly equally. Didn't show favoritism or any of that. Now my aunt, on the other hand, definitely showed favoritism. So
That's tough.
yeah,
That's really tough. To come from a background where you're not shown equality, and you're not sure why, that
right,
does a number on anybody. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Growing up, that does a number on anybody growing up, and I can understand the difficulties there. So obviously then stemming out of that place, obviously then going off to school, everything as well, you then get into relationships quite early.
Yeah. Um, I would count, I don't count anything high school and back. Like we're kids, you know what I'm saying? So college and on, and really after college, I think that's where the real relationships happen. Um, and they just never worked out. I don't think I'm picky. I don't think I'm hard to understand, hard to get along with. That was a revelation as well as to why these relationships were not working. And they were not working because I chose them and they chose themselves as well.
Oof.
They never
Say
chose
that
me.
again. Oof.
So, because they always chose themselves, they were always being selfish. It was literally they were demanding what they want while considering giving me what I want after they get what they want. And that's simply what it boiled down to, each relationship. And it took me, of course I didn't understand it while I was in them, but like looking back, that's exactly what it boiled down to. I chose them and they chose themselves.
So, did you manage to work out? Okay, no. I'll come back to that question. I like that statement that you made there because I'm holding it. I'm gonna have to use it one day. But okay, so you get married though young though,
Yeah.
and that's not a bad thing because getting married young, the Bible says enjoy the wife of your youth. So being married young is not an issue. But you get married around about 21. Talk to us about that journey and get into that space of marriage at 21. What happened there? You know what I mean?
Uh, Young, dumb, and thinking I'm in love. Um, we were together for a short amount of time. She threw it out there. Hey, we should get married. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, we should get married. I'm like, okay. I kind of went along with it. I'm thinking I'm in love. I'm thinking this is going to last, and this is it. Um, it clearly, was not. And I definitely don't regret it. I'm actually thankful I did do it. I tell all my friends, uh, I got married and divorced at a time to where I had nothing. I had no money, no property, no business. I literally had zero. Uh, so I essentially had nothing to lose in a divorce. Um, and I say I'm grateful to have done it so young because now later on in life, and now I'm serious about relationships or whatever. It's definitely stopped me from doing it again under the wrong circumstances. So like that's like even after I got divorced, I didn't realize it, but it's like I knew for a fact if I was in a toxic relationship, it's almost like I didn't care how long we dated, but I knew we wasn't getting married. And it's like, and that spawned from me getting married and divorced so young. Like we together a year or two. Even if it's bad, because I didn't love myself. But that is the one thing I did know that we're not. If is it because it is bad, we're not getting married. Or at least I'm not marrying you. So
So what? I know you obviously didn't love yourself, etc. Right? So
mm,
what? Looking back, then, what made you enter that relationship where you got to a point of marriage? What made you enter that relationship? What was Donald what was Donald seeing that Donald wanted to get to a stage of even getting married? Do you know what I mean?
I think because I didn't love myself, I'm seeking validation through others.
Okay.
So this girl telling me she loved me. All right, well, I think I love her back. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I think I love her back. At the time, I believed I loved her back. You
You
know what I'm
did,
saying?
yeah.
So, and because I didn't love myself and I had no boundaries, I'm I'm sticking out every relationship until
The wheels fall off.
exactly. And when they do fall off, I'm trying to put the wheels back on. So like I had tunnel vision once I got in relationships. I saw nobody else, saw nothing else. It was only about them. So I'm like, all right, well, let's do it. We're gonna be together. Okay, let's be together. Like I said, and it wasn't my idea. I just agreed to her, suggestion. So, um, and uh, definitely, definitely a mistake. But like I said, I'm grateful for this mistake. It taught me a very important lesson. Like I remember, you got to fill out some information at the computer, right? About like where you're born and stuff like that, and she typed in something about where she was born, and I'm like, I didn't know you were born right there. She's like, yeah, I told you that, and I'm like,
I don't
in
remember.
my head, I'm like, damn, that's a problem that I didn't know that, but me thinking I'm in love and being dumb, I I I skipped past that red flag. You know, I'm thinking,
Wait, what was
it's
what was the red flag? What was the red
the
flag?
the fact that we're filling out the marriage license information, and she
Oh, I see what
said
you're
she was
saying.
born in whatever city, yeah, and I didn't know that. That's a red flag. Like, well, I don't know this small detail, but we about to get married. And the biggest mistake of it all was nobody knew until it was over. You know, I of course everybody. I'm 21, right? Everybody's gonna talk me out of it, and I knew they were gonna try to talk me out of it, so I just didn't tell anyone. And then once we ended, I called a meeting with my friends. I never forget it. I called a meeting with my friends. They all came over. I was like, I got something to tell y'all. I said, me and so get married, and we about to get divorced. And they all like, they were just
That must
shocked.
have been
They
so
just,
tough.
yeah, they just, that was the last thing that they could imagine, that I would say. Especially if I'm calling everybody over to together, like, oh, what is Don about to tell us? But that was
How long
it.
were you guys together for then?
You said what?
How long were you together for then?
Oh, total? We were married for just a year.
Okay. And you were
Yeah.
together for how long?
About 6 months before that.
Ooh. I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest, listen. When people find who they find, 6 months is not that long. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not too short either. So
Right.
I
When it's
understand that.
real, yes. I absolutely agree with
Yeah.
that. I absolutely agree. But, you know, I didn't know this
In that
person. And
situation.
the most important part of that whole situation was I didn't know myself. Um, and that to me, that's the biggest issue in any relationship. When you don't know yourself, you will put up with BS, you will deal with stuff, you will not be true to yourself because you don't know yourself. And that causes people may not think about it, but that causes a lot of problems in relationships when you don't know yourself. If I don't know myself, how can I tell you what I like, what I dislike, what my values are if I don't even know it? You know what I'm saying? How can I believe that we align if I don't even know what I need to align with you? So it was definitely a learned lesson, I would say.
So obviously after that, then you said you had a few toxic relationships or toxic women that you encountered. Donald, what was happening, bro? What was happening? Why was it? Why was we encountering toxic after toxic after toxic? Hmm?
I because you know it sounds elementary, but
Yeah.
it all spawned from me not loving myself. People, I feel like people, when they hear that, it's such a vague, I guess, or blanket statement, but it's the simplest truth of it. Because I didn't love myself, uh, and I was I guess I was really a creature of habit back then. So if I knew anything about you prior to us dating, like let's say if you put a stranger in front of me and somebody I knew from 10 years ago, but I just know who they were. I don't really know them like that. So they're essentially both strangers, but because I know this person over here, at minimum, I can verify that this is that person. They were held higher than the brand new stranger who I don't know from Sally. So I'm thinking, one of my relationships, um, we went to middle school together, right? I'm sorry, no, we didn't go to middle school together. We lived next door to each other uh, in middle school. And she had moved. We hadn't talked since then. One day out the blue, she DMs me on Facebook. Hey, Donald, are you in Charlotte? I'm like, yeah, I'm in Charlotte. Oh, let's go get lunch sometime. I'm like, all right, cool. Because again, I haven't kept up with her like at all. I'm looking at her page. Oh, she's engaged. Okay, she must be talking about, like me maybe shooting her wedding. So cool. We did lunch or whatever. We get there and she tells me like she's about to call it off. Uh, I was like, oh, okay. So whatever, it's getting called off, and we keep talking, and I find myself liking her. She's liking me. And my thing is, I had just ended my relationship too, so it's like my dumb self calling this fate. That we haven't spoken in 16 years. We haven't seen each other in 16 years, and I just closed this relationship, and she's closing hers at the same time. This has to be fate. uh but it clearly was not fate. It was definitely simply another failed relationship and just another lesson. Um, so it's like I say, it all boils down to me not loving myself. I was dealing with, and it's I knew that these things were not working, these relationships were not working. We were arguing every single day. Uh, they were very problematic. Like all of these relationships I've been in, we were good for maybe a solid month, and that's it. Sharp decline after that. And because I didn't love myself, I think I found myself trying to hold on to that initial high of the relationship. I found myself just trying my hardest to grab that feeling back because of how great I thought it was at the time. So, but unfortunately, I couldn't. And I even people, especially women ask me, is there something that I think I could have done, differently? And I truly sat there and thought about it. And I'm like, I literally analyzed the whole relationship, right? And I was like, there was nothing. The only thing that could have been done for that relationship, or all of them actually, to work, would be for me to shut up and just take whatever they're saying and doing. If I shut up, there's no conflict. We're not arguing. So there's no anger. Uh, Nothing technically negative happens, but I already know for a fact I don't like what's happening, and I'm just not saying anything. So all of this is going to bottle up eventually. You know what I'm saying? So me and that person were just simply not compatible. Like there was nothing. Like I said, the only thing I could do was just shut up and just go along with it. But I knew in the end I would not be happy.
So, what takes you then on to Ready to Love? You know, I appreciate you. First of all, thank you for sharing your story, bro. It takes a lot as a man to share your vulnerability and to
Yeah.
share your heart and what
Hmm.
you've been through as well. So I really do appreciate your vulnerability and sharing that with yourself. Don't worry, I have some stories which I've told the audience they know that I've been through some toxicity myself. I
Got you.
don't love myself either. So
Yeah.
we do actually really identify with what you're saying and hear you loud and clear. What takes you on to Ready to Love?
Um, you know, I'm in New Orleans, right? I'm photographing a film festival, the Black New Orleans Film Festival. Uh, and they're casting. So they're hitting me up on Instagram, right? I think it's spam. It looked like spam. Ain't nobody ever said this to me. Like, what? I'm totally disregarding it, right? So they hit me up on my comments. Then they start DMing me, and then they start texting me. I'm like, how did they get my number? But my number's on my website. So, uh, ironically, Lakeisha is the one who said, Donald. She was like, Donald, just hear him out. So I called them, and they were telling me about the show, and it was essentially just like an initial interview. Um, and I made it to the next round, and the next interview, and that when we get to the interviews of them asking me questions or whatnot, I'm like, all right, well, ain't nothing in my life work, with what I've been doing, so maybe TV or maybe this opportunity or situation maybe this can be the love that I've been looking for. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think it was going to be a negative thing or a bad thing. So I'm like, hey, what's the worst that can happen with this situation? Uh, I'm single. I'm in a new city, so let's try it out. Like if I get selected, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. Each interview, like I keep making it to each next interview, and it's like, okay, well, cool. Like we next interview, next interview, next interview, and then it's like I got selected. I was like, oh wow, that's I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to make it. I was just
Were
being
you aware of the
myself.
premise of the show? Were you aware of the
Uh,
premise of the show was going to be different from the original Ready to Love?
no, I was not.
Okay.
None of us were. And that kind of I ain't gonna say it threw me for a loop. It was just I hadn't seen the show prior to me making it onto the show. Like so I had no clue about it. I so I'm coming in completely blind. Um they told me like one sentence. They said, "Oh, think of this as the all-star version of Ready to Love." And
That's it,
again,
yeah.
because I hadn't seen it before, I don't know what that means. You know, I know I did eventually watch it after I got selected. Before we started filming. So it's like I can't even begin to imagine what the all-star version means because I don't truly know
What the
the
original.
real format of the show, and that's all they said. That's a vague statement. Think of it as the all-star version. Okay, like, am I the all-star or like like what is this? I don't know what this term means at all at this point in time.
Okay. So okay, then obviously, then you then get on the show, you get through all the processes, you get to that point, and then I think quickly, I think the audience wanted to know. Obviously, you moved to New Orleans, but you and Lakeisha have you been friends for a long time, or
So me and Lakeisha met in 2019 when I was actually had my
okay,
film in the Black Film Festival of New Orleans. But we met. I really don't even remember meeting, but I do remember us. We became Facebook friends.
okay,
So from 2019 to the time I moved to New Orleans, we were essentially just Facebook friends. And once I got to New Orleans, she's an actress as well. She does
yes, yes,
commercials, everything. Uh, so she's in a tight knit creative community. And when I moved there, I'm in that community as well because I'm a filmmaker myself. So we got cool. Once I moved to New Orleans, that's when we got cool and that's when we got tight.
okay, and it's
Yeah.
always been a friendship.
Yes.
Fantastic. Just gotta make sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, okay, going back into the show. So obviously, you're back on the show. You don't know it's the essence of the show because they've changed it slightly, obviously, etc., right?
Yeah.
You get picked by. Did you get picked by Ashley? You got picked by Ashley,
Yes.
did you? Or
Yeah.
you got picked by Ashley.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so you got picked by Ashley, and then you guys start your dating journey.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want to know because obviously you thought it was going to be a different type of show. You're being chosen by the ladies, but I always ask all the gentlemen when you were standing there. Were you part of the 25? You part of the
Yes.
25 original men?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Day
so
one,
you have a different experience. So you got to see the ladies come through. You're obviously thinking that you're gonna get to choose. I'm guessing it will be a part of the process of choosing. I'm assuming, right?
Right.
So when you see the ladies come out, we want the honest truth. Who did you first see?
Visually, just
Yes,
visually.
visually. Who just catches your eye?
Vernisha.
Ah, it's Venetia again. We knew it. We knew it. Something about Venetia. She has every man's desires and eyes on her. Okay, I'm not mad at it. What is it about Venetia? Just I want to know. What is it about Venetia? We don't know.
She was gorgeous. All of them are gorgeous, but she was gorgeous, and she had a very nice frame.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you. It's the body. I get it. So okay. So obviously, then you get chosen by Ashley,
Right.
and obviously, when you get chosen by Ashley, obviously you guys. What was that like? What was it? Was it an instant connection? Was it something that had to grow a little bit? Like, what was the initial kind of interaction between you and Ashley? What was that like?
First of all, Ashley went last, right? I'm looking at all the women. I saw none of the women look at me. Me and none of the women made eye contact. So I'm like,
Okay.
Ashley goes last. So because I made no eye contact with, especially Ashley, I'm cooked at this point. I'm not getting picked. I'm about to go home and that's it. And then when she picks me, I'm like legit surprised. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm looking like really didn't think she would pick me. But, once she picked me and we sat down and spoke, she had a really, really lively energy that I really, really enjoyed. We laughed, we joked. She was a whole vibe. And so something also they didn't show was each of the men they picked, we got to sit down with all of the girls and have a conversation, an initial meeting with all of them. But they cut out all of that. But
What do you mean you had an initial meeting? What did that mean?
so we got to sit down with every woman, all 4 guys got to switch out and sit down and talk to all the women. But they literally completely cut out all of that on the show.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe they felt it wasn't necessary because clearly you can only date the person that picked you. But when me and Ashley sat down, we had a very, very good conversation that I thoroughly enjoyed. Like that was a dope conversation. I'm like, yo, this is just the first few minutes of meeting her. Like, she was super dope. At the time, like, all right, well, if this how she is, I could really see myself, dating her. That was my initial thought. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I get it. So then, I don't know. Obviously, between that moment and the Textgate situation, I think we need to clear that up, because what the heck happened with Textgate? Because obviously you guys, I'm guessing, are talking behind the scenes, right? You're talking behind the scenes because y'all got each other's numbers and stuff. Y'all are connecting. What happens at Textgate takes place? Because it makes sense, but it don't make sense. Please kill it out for us, Captain.
So me and Ashley did lunch, right? Went to lunch. Texting the whole rest of the day, right? Next day, I send her a text. I don't get a response. Now she tells me, her film days, she's filming 12 hours a day, and she only gets, 1 day off a week. So, all right. So because she told me that, if she doesn't respond to me, I'm thinking, well, she'll respond when she can. She's busy. She's filming. She probably won't be done until middle of the night, whatever. So I'm not expecting an immediate text back. I'm just kind of waiting on her. The next day, she texts me and says, hey, is everything okay? I respond back immediately. I say, yeah, everything's good. I texted you yesterday. Did you not get it? I'm thinking, again, okay, maybe she just picked up her phone and texted me real quick in between takes, whatever, and she's back to filming. So again, I'm not pressed over getting an immediate response. And I also don't believe that there's an issue happening. So because I don't believe there's an issue happening, I'm thinking, okay, again, she'll reach out to me when she can, if she wants to. I didn't get a text back. We go on our bowling date. And she told me, oh, I'm mad at you. I ain't heard from you in 2 days. I said, did you not get my text? And I immediately show her the text. And she's still upset over it somehow, for some reason.
Yeah.
Why
was she still upset?
I don't know.
I
think this was I think this is I think this is where, TV kicks in.
Oh, production.
Yeah, exactly. I believe she got the text. I believe they were deleted to help this narrative.
Create a narrative. Yep.
Because she got every other text from me ever. Anytime we text, she has never not received another text. But somehow these 2 texts you don't get. Okay. We'll go with that. But, along with that, right, I'm thinking as we continue on the date and she's making these jokes, it's just, just a joke. I don't believe she's actually still truly upset over this. Because we had a really, really great date. Our double date with Zadi and Cam, that was our second best date. It was Zipline first and then this date. Like, we had a really, really good time. Something they also cut out, right? So me, Ashley, Cam, and Zadi, we made a wager. We played 2-on-2 for the bowling. Made a wager.
Yes.
The wager was doing 50 push-ups. If you lost. And we literally lost by 1 point. I'm sorry, we didn't lose by 1 point. If I had got this last spare, of the final frame, we would have won.
Yeah.
So we lost by like maybe 5 or 6 points, but the spare would have
Taking
literally
you a
bumped
win
us,
edge.
right, made us win. So we lost, and I did the 40 push-ups. Well, I did 40 push-ups straight, and I'm struggling now. 40 straight push-ups, and Ashley came in and did the final 10, and I thought that was super dope.
Yeah.
Like, yo, she like really stepped in here, you know, and somewhere she didn't have to. But that was like, I looked at that, I was like, yo, that was amazing to me. But none of that got shown, right? All of that got cut out. And I'm thinking, all right, if she literally hopped in to do some push-ups for me to finish this wager, then she's definitely not mad.
Yeah, she's still.
We're good.
Yeah,
That was all jokes she was saying, throughout the whole day. And then we get to the mixer, and I get let go because of my lack of communication. It was I ain't gonna say it was bittersweet. It was unfortunate, honestly.
Did you guys have a conversation before? Were you in between being let go and the bowling alley? Did you guys have a conversation about Textgate again?
No.
Did she ever make any? Did she ever say anything about how she felt in that moment? Again after the bowling alley.
No. No,
So
there
she
was
never
no
made
issue.
any.
Now,
How did you feel about? Oh, sorry, go. Yeah, go
no,
ahead,
you
go
go,
ahead.
you go.
No, you got it, bro. You were gonna say something. Go on.
I was gonna say, now again, I don't know. She more than likely may have been filming between, uh, 'cause we didn't speak until the mixer. So we finished up our bowling date maybe around 2 or 3 o'clock, and the mixer was at 7. So we didn't speak, for the few hours in between, like at all.
Okay. Wow, that's weird. So okay, so then she didn't say anything. You didn't know, but at the bowling alley, it seemed like you said. It seemed like she was making a few different jokes. Was it playful for you, the jokes, or did you feel like the jokes were a bit jabbish?
No, I thought it was playful, but because I have the proof that I did text you, so I'm thinking it's just playful. I don't think it's jabbish, because I'm not. If it was jabbish, I'm not receiving it as a jab because I have literal proof that I did text you. Now, that's not on me that you didn't receive it if you didn't receive it. Because it's the same thing, like literally if she legit threw a jab or was like upset, I would keep referring back to, here's my proof right here. I text you. You're blaming me for you not receiving it. I can't do nothing about that. So if she tried to go the serious route, I would have just been like, I text you. And I would have also said, well, in reality here, you're the one with the issue. So if you have an issue, why don't you bring that issue actually to me to discuss it? Because I believe I told her at one point, it's the same. We're both waiting on each other. But you took an issue with it, and I didn't. I text you 2 times and got no response back. Okay, you're busy or whatever. Whatever the case is, I'm not going to text back. I'm not pressed at this moment. You know what I'm saying? It's our second meeting, so I'm not pressed if she don't text me back. Like,
So then, obviously, when you're let go, I want to know like what's running through your head at that point in time. Was it? Because I don't know if I remember correctly. It did seem a little bit like she was kind of scolding you a little. I don't know. It felt a little bit like she scolded you when she let you go. So I'm trying to figure out was that how it ran, or was it just literally just it was a calm little, hey, I gotta let you go. It felt like you were being scolded a little bit, but I don't know your perspective. It might be different.
I can't remember if she scolded me either, but she did start crying, and I was like, huh, that's I don't know what to say about that. It was just I thought it may have, a little bit much. Over some text messages. It's not like I broke a promise. It's not like I told you I was going to show up and didn't. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I didn't keep my word. It's text messages that you didn't get, that I have proof that you got. So that's the stronghold in my head. So it's like when she's crying, I'm like, this isn't my fault. She keeps saying I could have done more. And I want to say it so bad, but I didn't, because she's crying or whatnot.
What did you want to say?
You could have done more. Again.
Right, because she could have.
Right. You have the issue. I don't have an issue. I am completely unaware that there is an issue. If you could have picked up the phone to call me, hey, O'Donnell, is everything okay? Ashley, yes, everything's okay. What's up? What's going on? We could have had a full conversation. Again, I don't believe that there's an issue. So what could I have done differently if I don't believe we have an issue? There's nothing else I could have done. Now, if I believe we had an issue, yes, I could have picked up the phone and called, hey, was everything okay? I see you didn't text me back twice. You know what I'm saying? I don't have an issue. She has an issue that she refuses to make me aware of until, we get in person at the bowling alley. And then I'm thinking, all right, well, it was a minor issue that she let go by the end of the bowling date. But then hours later, she's letting me go and she's crying. Okay. Is this a real issue or is this now TV?
Why did you? Why? Okay, so then obviously once you get given a boot, what did you tell Lakeisha?
I said, yo, so look, I was with Lakeisha when Ashley texted me.
Okay.
Say, hey, is everything okay? I'm actually
so you didn't work with Lakeisha. You actually were with Lakeisha when you actually texted Ashley.
Yes.
Then? So yeah. Okay.
And I text her right back, and I don't get anything back. So when she lets me go, I tell her, like, yo, she let me go. And then Lakeisha's like, what? Like, why? I said, yo, she's swearing down she didn't get my text. And me and Lakeisha are trying to discuss the legit logic of it. Like, well, you text her twice, you showed it to her. How are you still upset? Right? Yeah. So
I can see how Lakeisha's pissed.
No, Lakeisha wasn't pissed. She was as confused as me. And I saw a bunch of comments, everybody talking about I just ran and told Lakeisha everything that was going on between me and Ashley, and it wasn't like that at all. I'm not. I'm discussing some things that are happening between me and Ashley, but it ain't like me and Ashley are in a relationship, and I'm telling Lakeisha, hey, yo, man, she really be undermining me in front of people, and I don't like that. It's not. I'm not like, these aren't deep-rooted issues. These are surface-level issues that I'm just discussing with my friend. That's it. Of course, clearly on TV, it looked deeper than what it was, but it wasn't.
So obviously after that, you get let go. Does production reach out to you, or does Ashley reach out to you? You guys still talking? What's happening behind the scenes that we don't get to see?
Ashley called me an hour.
An hour?
After she let me go.
God damn it. She was remorseful.
And she's still on the phone crying, and now I'm just really confused. She's like, oh, I didn't want to do that, but I had to, and blah, blah, blah. And she's trying to make this issue, again, deeper than what it was. So I'm just going along with it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. My bad. You're right. I should have called, blah, blah, blah. I just don't know.
You're right.
When I don't want to delve into a situation any further, You know how the typical man thing. You're right. I'm sorry. Let's move forward. That's
Oh,
all.
you're
Like
saying you said that you're saying that to end it. You said you're right. Leave it as it is. You're basically saying.
right, and not to shut her up, but it's more so just okay. Let's just move forward because
So
I'm
what did she say her excuse was? Did she still double down again that she didn't get the text messages?
yes, and
So
she's
even at
still
that point, she's
saying
still saying,
yes. She's still telling me what more I could have done. And again, I've already
even on the
explained
phone
myself.
1 hour after.
Yes, and
Donald! An
and
hour later, she's still doing this.
yes. So that's why I'm just steadily apologizing. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do better. I promise you. If I believe there's an issue, I'll start calling. Da, da, da. I'm just trying to move forward because this. If I stay on it, it's gonna piss me off because it's not making sense. It's not logical. So the best thing for me to do right now is just move forward. So all right, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do better. And that's what it was for me. Moving, trying to move forward and not let it be an issue.
I understand though. I do understand that. Not trying to make it an issue. Okay, so then after that, so you guys an hour after that conversation happens. Okay, so are you guys in contact before you guys come to the end of the before you guys not end before you come back on the show again? Are you in contact, or is this a production people who call you and say, "Boy, we want you back. We
No, yeah.
want
So
you
we
back for
are in
good."
contact. We were speaking, a few texts here and there. Got on the phone a couple of times, and I think that was it. I think it was Zadia's birthday party. It was the next time I came back. Um, and that's another situation I was unaware of. I'm thinking it's a surprise that I'm here. But like on the show when I watched it, Ashley says on TV that she's going to invite me. I'm like in real life I didn't get invited. I mean, well, production told me to be there, but I didn't get invited by her. But I thought this was me
Oh,
kind of surprising her. That's what they told me. But I guess it just changed in the end. That it was really an invitation from Ashley.
so wait. Okay, so that was a switch. Okay, so that was a switch around. But so before that point of the birthday party, were you and Ashley still? Were you guys really talking still properly on the
Yeah,
behind the scenes? Was
yeah.
there?
Like I said, we were
And was the
talking.
conversation? Was it good? Was it not just friendship? Was it still trying to initiate where you guys are moving forward in terms of a romantic aspect?
Uh, I think at that point, I think it was still more so friendship.
That's okay. You can tell the
Because
truth. Yeah, it's friendship. It was platonic at
again,
that
she
point.
just she let me go, so I don't even know. While we're talking, I don't know if I'm coming back or not. So, uh, I won't say it's friendship. It's yeah, I would have to classify it as friendship because like you let me go, so I can't be like, hey yo, I'm let me take you on a date. Let me do X, Y, and Z for you. I that's out. Not gonna say out the question, but that's just not happening at that moment.
Yeah, I get that. Were you aware of the competition in terms of obviously with before you came back? Were you aware of the Kirsten connection? You probably weren't, but I just wondered if you were aware of any. You're licking your lips, and that's telling me you did. So you
uh,
can't play on this channel. What did you know? Spill.
did she? I can't remember if we spoke about Kirsten prior to me coming back.
Okay.
I think she may have mentioned him to me after the party. Story wise, he was supposed to be there, but he just didn't show up.
How did you feel about that when you found out he was supposed to turn up, but you turned up, but he didn't turn up?
Uh, that was actually a benefit for me. Because this is my first time back seeing Ashley. If he was there, I would now have to fight for her. And I'm actually kind of glad that me and him never, entered the same space with Ashley because I don't do well with that.
I hear you.
I let if the woman ultimately chooses, right?
Yes.
So if y'all are vibing, I'm gonna just slowly step back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to interject in anyone else's vibe. So that's why I'm kind of glad, like, me and him never got in the same space, having to kind of fight for Ashley's attention.
So at that point where it gets to the birthday, party, are we saying that you like Ashley like that? And maybe a friendship, but were you liking Ashley like that? Because I want to understand your perspective as to where you were in that particular process, in that point in time.
That point in time, I did still like Ashley. Like I said,
Why?
uh,
Why, Don? At this point, she's left you alone, told you that she didn't get a text. What is it again that you are
but
liking about Ashley?
because we were talking behind the scenes, I'm thinking, all right, that's TV that she had to let me go. Cool. But because we're talking behind the scenes, I'm thinking, all right, well, there's a reason why she called me right an hour after she let me go, and we've been talking every day since then. Uh, so I'm thinking, all right, well, there's still a chance here. You know what I'm saying? And then, real talk, yo, that dress she had on at that party, my God, like,
But banging, right? I can't lie, she's
yes,
fine.
I told her she like a Jamaican beef patty, and them things is fire.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna be mad at it. Girl's
Yeah,
fire.
she was looking good that day. I was like, yo, that's ooh. She
Looking
had
good,
it on
right?
that day. Yeah.
So obviously, then, you come back, you see her, she's looking fine, like a Jamaican beef patty, and obviously you realize that Kirsten's not there. Great, means that you and her can actually really focus on
Right.
the relationship. Obviously, then going forward, now you're having your time with her.
Mm.
Where does that relationship sit now? So now you guys are now you're back on the show. You're back to dating. In fact, before you even get to that point, did Tamika talk to you before you came back?
Uh no, I spoke to Tamika at the next mixer.
The next mixer. Okay.
Briefly. Yeah.
Okay. What was Tamika's words what that was said to you that we didn't see? Because clearly there's some influence from Tamika here. So
So we and Tamika really never spoke off camera. Um Anything like we and her talked about was on camera. Um
okay.
Now she called me. When was that? I'm like, I can't fully remember the times, but Tamika did call me one time. And oh, that's what it was. Tamika called me and invited me to the mixer.
Okay.
That's what it was. Yeah, she called me and invited me to the mixer, and then that's when I showed up. And that was a surprise to Ashley. Um
You like that, didn't you?
I did. I did,
Yes.
yeah. It was it was
It was
dope.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not mad at it. All right. So then, obviously, then you guys then start your journey again,
Yeah.
right? It's
Right.
looking all good because you started the journey again. She's trying to, reignite the fire between the both of you. Okay.
Mhm.
At what point do you become aware? I know we see it on the show, but I'm thinking maybe it might have been earlier. At what point do you become aware that there's now another party who's involved in the situation, i.e., Kirsten?
Um like I said, I think me and Ashley had talked about Kirsten after the birthday party. At the birthday party, I wasn't aware that he was supposed to be there. I think she disclosed it to me afterwards. I think maybe off camera about him, and then she's asking me on dates now. How do I feel about him being there? And I'm just kind of like, that doesn't affect me. I'm here with you right now, live time. This is what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about anybody else. That's always, I ain't gonna say it's always been my mantra, but that's what my mantra is now. Like I said, I'm not trying to interject in anyone else's vibe. So it's like, and she kept asking me about it, several times. I'm
She
like,
did,
oh,
yeah.
is she trying to just invoke some kind of reaction out of me? If she is, she's not gonna get it. Because what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say right there? Am I supposed to like get upset? Am I supposed to tell you, oh, you need to drop him, like let him go in full, like you need to be with me? I don't.
Whoop de whoop de woo.
Yeah, you are bringing this person up for a reason. I'm not asking about him. You're bringing him up. So it's kind of
What was the
like,
reason?
like I said, I think she maybe just have simply been trying to invoke some kind of reaction out of me. I guess she wanted me to verbally fight for her. I guess, she wanted me to like emphasize how much I want her and want her to not deal with him. Again, I don't know what y'all vibe is like. I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't know what kind of dates y'all are doing. I don't know anything. I just know what the little bit you're saying right now. So there's nothing for me to say about, hey, stop dealing with him. Let him go. Just deal with me. Because, again, because I know the format now of the show, they are going on blind dates every single week. So even if it wasn't Kirsten, it could have been another man she went on a blind date with, to where she could have went on several dates with that other person and been asking me about him. So I know you're dating other men. I'm not worried about it. I understand that part of the process. So I'm worried about you right now here in front of your face. I'm not worried about none of these other men.
Okay. So then she's obviously saying those bars, saying those things to you about the Kirsten situation, blah, blah, blah. And, she wanted you, like I said, to choose her and basically, let her know that, you only see her in a sense, I guess. But obviously, like I said, you see that she starts mentioning about Kirsten, etc., and you're like, you're not trying to be involved in that situation as well for yourself.
Right.
For you then, going forward in that relationship again with Ashley, and it's starting to grow again, you're starting to put some efforts in. There was a little comment earlier on where you guys sitting at that table, and she says something about, I think she said, what did she say at the table? Oh my God. That's not the way she says it. Yeah, she mentioned your I think just when she mentioned your loafers at that point. And I was like, it felt like such an underhanded comment at the point. But I don't know. Did you take it that way? Did you hear that comment that was a little bit cheeky about the loafers and the kind of clothing?
You talking about the picnic table with the DMX comment, or you talking about another? So
No, that's later on.
yeah,
This
all
is the
right.
one where earlier on where she mentions about your loafers, I believe.
So yeah, she does say something about him, right? And it doesn't bother me. It's not bothering me because this is me. That's what I like to wear.
Yeah.
I'm more so, I never asked him. I'm more so like, why do you have an issue with it? It ain't
Yes.
like
Oh, you
I'm
asked it there
dressing.
and then?
He said what? Oh, right. I should
Did you
have said
ask?
it. I
Oh,
did not.
you
I
didn't
did not
ask her
ask
then.
her.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's fair enough. Go for it.
After she said something about him a couple times, there was one day where they actually showed a shot of my loafers, which I didn't even know they did that. This the time she told me she was gonna turn into a loafer if I wear. She sees another pair of loafers. After
That's kind of
that,
funny. I can't lie
off
to you.
camera, I asked her, I said, "Yo, do you really have an issue with the way I dress?" And then she was like, I mean, not really, but I asked production about it, and they were like, "Yo, this is how he dresses." And that night off camera, that's when the things I'm hearing are actually starting to bother me now. You
Oh,
know,
why?
I disregard the several loafer comments. It's bothering me because again, she's not even asking me, "Is this what I like to wear? Why do you like loafers?" She's never asking me my feelings on it. She's telling me my feelings on it. She keeps saying, along with the loafer comments, I just want you to be comfortable. I just want you to be a little bit more comfortable. She never asked me, was I comfortable? Which I was. That's why it wasn't bothering me. So, like I said earlier, this is her trying to tell my narrative. Why do you keep saying you want me to be more comfortable? You never even asked me, was I uncomfortable? I was very comfortable. I love these shoes. Like shout out to the penny loaves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So she never asked you, but she was basically, in a sense, saying, trying to think for you, in a sense.
Yes.
It's given history repeating itself.
Yeah. If you want to do that, if you want to show up with a size 14 shoe for me and present me with some, do that. And I'll wear them. I'll gladly wear them. You know, so she also said something about my wardrobe, right? This is off camera as well. I asked her, no, so production told us no logos, no stripes. So I told her that killed over half my wardrobe. Her very first response was, so you telling me you couldn't go to Shein.com and order this, and that right quick? That was the first response. Instead of saying, you know, I understand, I get it, you know, da-da-da. Her first response was, why didn't you fix that? First of all, let's be clear. If you order it from Shein, that's going to take about a month regardless, like off gate, like 2 weeks at the quickest. We don't have that much time here. So even if I ordered from Shein, bro, we'd have been done filming by the time I got it. Like, that's very first of all. And secondly, again, that's her still trying to control my narrative. I told you why I'm not wearing a lot of sneakers, why I'm not wearing X, Y, and Z. I told you the reason. No logos, no stripes. That killed over 60, 70% of my wardrobe. So all I have now left is plain polos and my loafers. So her first initial response was, you know, pretty much fix it. Why didn't you fix it? So, you know.
Okay. I mean, first of all, Ashley, look a girl, witty dances. But I want to know. Okay, so at this point, this has got to start feeling a little bit familiar to you.
Yeah.
Energy-wise.
Right.
Why don't you choose to walk away at this point? I just want to understand what you're saying. Why didn't you choose to say, you know what? I'm starting to see a familiar energy and pattern. Why didn't you walk away? Or why didn't you have, if you didn't, I don't know, why didn't you have a conversation with her to say, listen, boundaries, I'm going to need to fix up. Okay?
I can't remember what point in the process this was, you know. But I'm thinking, all right, if she truly has an issue with the way I dress, I'm thinking because it's simply how I dress, she can get over this. Because I'm not going to change it, you know. So it didn't really feel like she's crossing a boundary yet. You know, it's clothing, it's surface level. My thought process, you'll get over it before I change it. And if you truly have an issue with it, you can let me go. That's my thought process. I don't need to leave because you don't like what I'm wearing. If it truly bothers you that much, you know, she can let me go and I'll be going for good. Because now we really got a problem. You want some surface level BS at that point. So, you know, that's why I didn't walk away. So it didn't bother me to that level to walk away.
Okay. I'm hearing that. No, I'm definitely hearing that. Okay, so then obviously that's one of the first. That's now another comment that's happened. So that's behind the scenes, though. Okay, so then after that, you know, after that situation, you know, going forward in that regard, you know, your next kind of situation that you guys have, if I'm correct, I think it is the beef between Lakeisha and Ashley. Yeah. At that point, what did you tell Lakeisha? Because before she came on there, she came on Smoke. So what did you tell Lakeisha?
Again, I'm having just normal conversations with Lakeisha about...
What's normal conversations, Don?
I'm just, you know, telling her about my experience, you know.
Okay, so you're talking about what happened between you and Ashley. That's okay. You're talking to a friend, right?
Right. And
I
not...
tell my boys the situation.
Yeah, and I'm not talking negatively about Ashley. I'm just telling her my experience.
which is negative, but it's okay.
Right.
It's
And
okay,
again,
Don. You can. This is a safe space. You can tell the truth all the way here, bro. We're here to support you.
right. So I'm not saying like, man, forget Ashley, man. I'm simply, like telling her what I'm experiencing.
Yes.
And it's not like I'm running to tell Lakeisha these things, right? Like, oh, yo, Lakeisha, hey, well, guess what Ashley said? It's me and Lakeisha, again, we're friends. We talk about other things. We hop on a phone call. We talk about different things. It ain't like we solely talked about Ashley. And we
Of
talking
course,
about
yeah.
her next gig. We talking about, Bourbon Street. What you doing today? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, she'll ask, hey, how's the show going? How's everything going, Ashley? So it ain't like I ran to tell Lakeisha. It's
It's happened in conversation.
Ashley happened to pop up in conversation with Lakeisha. You know what I'm saying?
Don, it didn't happen pop up. It's going to come up. It's your friend. It's okay,
Right, yeah.
bro.
Right.
Yeah, it's your friend. It's going to come up in conversation. It's natural. I talk to my female best friend about all the things I've been through, and it's going to come up. No, it's not going to pop up. I talk to her about it. You're going to talk to her about it. When you spoke to her, you spoke to her about your experiences, and your experiences include also the negative things and the positive things that you felt about Ashley.
Right.
So that's how Lakeisha knows. So when Lakeisha heard that story, when you put it on the table and you told her the story on, on the phone or whether you met or whatever, right? What was her response to you when you had that conversation?
For Lakeisha.
Yeah,
What
because I
was
know
Lakeisha's
Lakeisha didn't keep
response?
quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's agreeing with me, on everything. I'm telling her I don't understand. I'm like, of all things, of all things, how are you complaining about what I'm wearing? It ain't like I'm bummy. Then I could see you legit complaining about my clothes. Like I'm still well dressed. I got on, like I said, polo shirts that are nice fitting, loafers, the chino pants, chino shorts. Got on my cologne, my watch, like if I was going on a date and not dressing up in a suit, this is what I would wear, especially if it's summertime. This is what I like to wear. This is what I feel comfortable wearing. This is what I enjoy wearing. So I'm hearing these comments, these negative comments about, namely, my loafers. And then, I'm getting comments about, what could have been done. Like mad things, Ashley's saying, especially off camera. I'm discussing this stuff with Lakeisha. Lakeisha is fully agreeing with me. Like, of all things she can complain about, that's what's bothering you? That's what you're harping on? That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, and not, saying Lakeisha has to side with me. And I never expect Lakeisha to straight up just side with me. I expect my friends to tell me the truth.
Yeah.
I'm very big on that. If I'm tripping, let me know. If I'm wilding, if I said something wrong, if I made somebody feel some kind of way, let me know. Especially, if I really just can't see it. Like if I did something to Ashley, Lakeisha would have let me know, yo, Don, I was messed up. You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have done that. But of course, we don't see that or hear that from Lakeisha because I'm not doing anything to bother Ashley or I'm not doing anything negative to Ashley. I'm getting these negative comments and actions from Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. If Lakeisha asks me about my experience, that's all I have to relate to her.
Sorry, my phone dropped out there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're getting negative aspects from Ashley. So why did you choose Lakeisha to come on the show? Because obviously now she knows, you know how Lakeisha is. Okay, this ain't the first time Lakeisha knows how to set somebody straight. Okay, you've been friends with her a long time. You know, because I know my best friend. If I bring her on and I've told her this stuff, I know it's likely that she gonna go off because that's her nature. She gonna want to defend me. She wanna make sure that I'm good, and she might feel like someone's taking a mick out of me. She gonna want to defend her brother. Okay, so we want to know, why did you choose Lakeisha to come on the show to be the friend that you wanted her to meet? In all honesty, Don.
So all honesty. Again, because I just moved to New Orleans. I have the circle, the creative circle, right? But my closest friends at this time, so none of my friends are back home in North Carolina could make it. They told us on Friday, hey, friends and family day is on Monday. Not enough time for somebody, one of my long-term friends to make it to New Orleans from North Carolina. So my only friends at this time in New Orleans are my homie Gion, who was on the show, Lakeisha, and my other homegirl Lakeisha. I got two Lakeishas.
God damn.
Right. So two Lakeishas, two women. That wasn't gonna work. Because I knew Lakeisha, the one that came on the show, was like a higher energy. And the other Lakeisha is not super high energy, but she can probably get there.
Yeah, I get you.
So them two together would have been
a match made in hell. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So that can't happen. So I say, all right, Lakeisha and Gion. Gion's cool, calm, collected, chill dude. That energy balances out there. So that's why I chose them too. And of course, it couldn't be just Lakeisha either because of the energy as well. Because there's nobody else to deflect to or to, hey, what do you think about this? So Gion was kind of the almost like he reset the energy sometimes.
Okay. So what was Gion's conclusion coming away from that situation? What was Gion's conclusion behind the scenes? We didn't see him say anything on the show, but I can guarantee he said something. But after, I can guarantee it.
He was really laughing most of the time. He thought it was funny. He was laughing on the show, but he really just thought it was funny. And he just really just thought the whole thing was funny. I'm like, dang, bro, it was no help. It was no help in getting me out of like this flame right here. But like I said, he did allow the energy to be set some, because he was asking actually certain questions about me and whatnot. So things of that nature. So he did help. He did serve his purpose, and he definitely helped me out there. But clearly nobody saw that. They only saw Lakeisha and Ashley.
Okay, and then okay, so obviously Lakeisha and Ashley go to it toe to toe. I know you've said it already. Why you didn't say anything? Because you didn't want anything to you don't want to be looking like you're double teaming Ashley.
Right.
Let's be honest. You 100% agreed with what Lakeisha said about Ashley, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's why I didn't say anything. Now, literally, if Lakeisha said something wrong or incorrect or something that was really actually offensive toward Ashley, I would have checked Lakeisha. I'd have been like, Lakeisha, yo, hold on. Like, yo, that's not the case. That's inaccurate. Like, you know what I'm saying? But everything Lakeisha was saying was true and it was factual, which is why I sat there and let her, I'm like in my head, Lakeisha, I appreciate this. Like, because if I say it, it's gonna be a problem. And, like I said,
it's gonna be a problem. Why do you feel like if you said it'll be a problem?
Because it was already a problem when I tried to bring even smaller things to her. Like I said, we had an unresolved issue the night before. I'm trying to talk to her about certain things. I think the wardrobe comment when she said you couldn't just go to Shein and order something right quick.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
that happened that previous night.
Oh, okay.
So Ashley's not gonna listen to me. She's not gonna hear me. She's not gonna take accountability. And if she doesn't take accountability, now we're butting heads, and an actual argument is gonna happen now. And if I get upset enough, I probably will walk away. So like I said, if I find myself, I can potentially get upset over something, and I just want to move on. You're right. I'm sorry. Let's move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when Ashley, I mean, when Lakeisha gets there and they start going at it, I'm not saying nothing. Everything Lakeisha's saying, I'm agreeing with, which is why I'm letting it be said. Again, if Lakeisha said anything wrong, anything inaccurate, anything, personality-wise, if she just tried to attack Ashley without merit, I would have definitely said something to Lakeisha.
I hear you.
But I'm not going to stop my friend from defending me. But especially if Ashley is saying things live time that I'm not liking. I'm the star of the show. He here for me. I got a whole wardrobe for him. I got plans for us. When was I going to be included in all of this information that you just said? Where's this supposed wardrobe at? I will accept a brand new wardrobe. Where is it? Let me know.
Was it a brand new wardrobe? Was it a brand new wardrobe when you're wearing the bucket hat? Coming down? Was that a brand new wardrobe? Some people say that. Some people say that.
That was my wardrobe. I already had that.
Okay.
That's not nothing, she bought me. But so let me.
Did she buy you some stuff?
She did not. But let me touch on the bucket hat. And I'm sorry, production did not relate to us or to me like truly something I should have worn. Or I didn't get enough proper information to appropriately dress for some of the dates. Like our first date when we ate the crawfish, right? I initially had a suit, but I took the jacket off because it was scorching hot. So I had the pants on and a dress shirt. Had I known we were going to be outside filming in the direct sunlight, I would have wore a t-shirt, a bucket hat, sunblock, shorts, sneakers, or you know what I'm saying? I would have dressed appropriately, but I was not aware that this is what we're doing. And again, this is a first solo date, so I'm trying to dress to impress here. And that's literally what they vaguely said. Oh yeah, you're going to whatever restaurant it was. First date, just dress to impress for first date. All right, I'm gonna throw a suit on for the first date because I am trying to dress to impress. If they had said, hey, I know it's first date, we're going to this restaurant, we're going to be filming outdoors in the sun. Wear something casual, wear something you may wear to a park or something just outdoorsy. Cool. I would have threw the bucket hat on, the t-shirt, my necklace, my watch. I'm saying my typical stuff I would wear on an outdoor, event or date. I may still have had loafers on, but I would have had a t-shirt and a bucket hat on because that sun was blazing.
I'm not mad at it. Do you see where people might feel like, like even though you got someone else, a woman, to speak to a woman, but do you see how that people might see it that, you kind of allowed the situation to take over? So even though by not saying anything, you allow the situation to be taken over by Lakeisha instead of actually saying, Ashley, maybe you're not hearing me. Maybe you should hear my friend. That would have been you introducing Lakeisha to Ashley and then saying, obviously, look, there's parts of the conversation we've had. I don't think you're getting it. And then introducing a friend, which would have been you guiding the conversation. But instead, you took your hands off it and you said, c'est la vie, let Lakeisha do what Lakeisha do. And people are going to look at it as you being very passive in that moment rather than actually, taking control and stock of that situation. Would that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense, and I can see why people would think that. I can definitely agree on why they would think that. But like I said, in my stance, which I'm always going to stand on, I try to have better conversations with Ashley about the things she was saying. She wasn't taking accountability. She was doubling down on it. So me talking to her is not working. Now, again, I didn't bring Lakeisha here to be, my voice. Again, this is just an introduction of friends and family. This is one of my friends. It's just, hey, it's Ashley, it's Lakeisha. This, and again, I didn't know Lakeisha did come in, this, a little bit hot. I didn't know it would get, you know, it would immediately go to that point. But again, Lakeisha's defending me. Now look, now if Ashley wasn't saying those things live time, and Lakeisha still had her energy, then yeah, I would have stepped in. Hey, yo, Lakeisha, yo, chill out, chill out, chill out. You know, let's all calm down. Da da da. But I dislike what I'm hearing literally from Ashley's mouth right next to me. Lakeisha's defending me. So no, I'm not gonna diffuse or stop that situation, because clearly Ashley wasn't listening to me when I tried to talk to her off camera in a calm fashion. So I don't care what people say and how it could look, and it looked like I just let my hands off. Yes, I did let my hands off, because my friend is actually defending me. Because Ashley, the person I'm supposed to be dating, is not hearing me directly. So, you know, that's just what it was.
Fair play. So then, obviously, oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, like I said, you know, because of what's being said, if I'm to say anything, it would be to Ashley. What wardrobe? Why do you have a problem with how I dress? What plans? Like, oh, you the star? Do I need to leave? What's up? Like, she's saying these things in a controlling manner. I'm the star of the show. He here for me. What? Like, okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? So, and Lakeisha, nah, like, he the prize too. You know, he dressed nice. You know, and then I also couldn't praise Lakeisha. Hey, Lakeisha, I appreciate that. Thank you. Because that still looks like I'm double teaming Ashley. So again, the best thing I could do in that moment was just to remain silent.
You were caught between a rock and a hard place. Ashley was a rock, but was Lakeisha the hard place?
Yeah. Listen. When they asked me at the reunion, right, and I said not necessarily, I was trying to think of a better analogy. I just couldn't think of one. So I said not necessarily, because when you say between a rock and a hard place, those are very similar situations to where you kind of need to make a choice on it, either one or the other. That's not what was happening between Lakeisha and Ashley. I'm not choosing one or the other. Lakeisha gonna be here. That's a day one now. You know what I'm saying? Me and Ashley may or may not work out. So to me, the appropriate analogy would have been, if I'm dating Ashley, and let's say I was hypothetically dating Lakeisha as well, and I have to choose, that's stuck between a rock and a hard place. But my friend, my platonic friend, and the person I'm dating, that's not a rock and a hard place. That's why I said not necessarily, because that's, to me, that was an inappropriate analogy in the situation. But I guess I can see why they asked that. It was the situation, you know, offense and defense. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, and what to do in that moment. So I can see why they asked me that.
Okay. So obviously that situation happens. Does Lakeisha after that conversation, does Lakeisha give you advice and tell you, listen, Don, best to walk away from the situation?
She didn't tell me I needed to walk away, but she did double down on she doesn't think we're a good fit, like she said on the show.
Okay.
You know, like, because she was like, just from that interaction right there, that was a bit much. And she, you know, because she heard what I heard. And, you know, I'm not the prize. You know,
okay,
yeah, I'm not a prize. A pawn here. I'm under Ashley's thumb and control. Ashley's about to switch up my whole wardrobe. Ashley got plans. Ashley's in complete control of Donald. She heard the exact same things I heard, so she's like, yo, Donald, nah, that ain't it for you. So, you know, I get why she thinks that. And again, I'm just at this point, whatever. Like, okay.
All right, that's fair. So then, obviously, is going on from there. The next situation I want to talk about is It's gonna give it to you. It's gonna give it to you.
My
Okay,
dogs go.
because that situations will arise, but you gotta be smart about it. That situation between you and Ashley,
Oh.
that table scene, baby. I need to know what happened because where you guys, of course, you guys were still coming off the back of that situation, but bruh, what was happening that table situation kicked off the way it did, please?
All right. First of all, RP DMX. Shout out to the DMX. So let me preface it with this. How I work. I'm not able to just move on to the next situation if something happens to me. If I so the situation with Lakeisha, right? A second line came in, we're dancing, we're having a good time, the energy's back positive. So because we left on a positive note, I'm thinking we're good. It happened, but we left on a positive note, so it's over. So, I show up to the date with Ashley. And we're talking. She asked me how I thought it went. I was like, yo, I couldn't predict. So I didn't ask you. I asked you, how you thought it went. Not the best. And then I'm sure they start cutting to my face, getting serious, because I am pissed off at this point because they cut out a lot of this. They cut out Ashley was doing the most at that table. We're sitting an arm's length across from each other. So Ashley, being animated as she is, when she's talking with her hands can get in my face very easily. Like you see, look how close my arms are stretched out. It's right there in your face. So I'm not able to separate at that moment. And I'm not even thinking about that at that moment. That's what I thought about, in hindsight. But because we're so close, you're doing all of this, your hand is going to my face. Yo, time out. You're crossing the line now. So that's why I needed a moment to calm down. And she's interrupting me. She's getting loud. I'm getting strike after strike after strike here. And then when I say, yo, I need a moment, I'm just trying to calm down. And then she try to act all soft. Trying to calm down for what? I said, you're doing the interrupting, you're doing the talking, with your hands. Got the hands all on my face. Then she I literally kept watching that clip. And I said, she was like, what you mean I got my hands all in your face? What are you talking about? She intentionally did it again. Well, so. And now you're trying to provoke me. Now I'm getting really pissed off. And then, so here's the whole DMX comment. You know how when you didn't they don't know who we be. No. So look, right? Ashley, do you know how when you I think women do this a lot, but I think a lot of people do it when you're repeating something somebody said, right? So we're talking about something, and I was like, yeah, you was like, hey, Donald, I don't like when you do this. And then she was like, why I gotta sound like DMX? And we were joking and laughing about that. Minutes later, she asked me, Donald, what do you need from me? I said, I need friendship. I need equality. I need a homie, like DMX. So when I said it, it was a response joke to her joke.
So you're saying that she made a joke about DMX first,
Yes.
and you responded with a DMX joke back.
Yes.
Oh.
And they
Okay.
cut out all of her joke,
Oh.
and they made it look like I called her DMX. And then when she
Rough
said it, I was
Rider.
confused. That's what I said. I didn't call you DMX.
Yeah. That's why I didn't make. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, what? I said I need a
With you on
homie
this.
like DMX because you made a DMX joke.
It was simile, not a metaphor. Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. And then she told me, you over here calling me super aggressive and shit and da-da-da. And then when she got up and walked away, I was done.
Now before
I
she
was
walked away, she said something.
oh yeah. That's what whew, Lord. I swear
Take
my
me
patience
there.
hadn't been tested on that level in a very long time.
Mm,
I do not take well to that. Like
I'm
threats,
with you.
that's a problem. When she talking about, I said, yo, if I was doing the same thing, how would you feel? Tomorrow, I'll slap the shit out of you.
Did she apologize for that at the moment, in the immediate moment?
No, she didn't. First of
So
all,
she didn't
nobody
apologize when she
slapped,
said it.
nobody slapping the shit out of me. That's first of all. Secondly, I'm still remaining calm in that moment. And I said, actually, how would you feel if they still slap the shit? And I was like, oh, you'll slap the shit out of me. That's what, like, bro, I'm at a 10 now, but still a calm 10. And then that's when she, got up and starts walking away. I'm extremely pissed at this point. Like, I don't want to be here no more. I'm done. Can we wrap this up? Can we end this date? I'm cool on this. This is total bullshit now. Like I quit that night. I legit quit. I'm not coming back. Fuck this. I'm good. Let's get out. I don't care. I do not care about being here to the end. Whatever. I'm done at that moment when she walked away. That was the worst moment of this whole experience. Oh no, what were you about to say?
No, I'm saying damn.
Oh yeah, that was absolutely the worst moment. So 2 days go by, right? I don't say nothing to her. She ain't saying nothing to me. And there was another mixer coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to swallow my pride, and I texted her.
Mm-hmm.
And I texted her because no communication for me, we're going to show up at the same level or energy level that we left at. And that's what I'm not doing.
Okay.
I'm not. Nope. I'm not walking into that because I won't come. So like I said, I swallowed my pride. I sent her a text. I apologize for my end of things, whatever. This text is simply just to get us back on a neutral level. Of course, she didn't respond.
You mean she didn't respond at all for that text he sent?
Yeah, she didn't respond. But it was whatever. I know she got it. Just like she got them other ones. But I know she got it. I know she read it. And it's crazy. When we got to the mixer, right? I got your text, but it was all about you.
Wait, what? Wait, say that again. She said I got your text, but it was all about you. What does that even mean? I'm listening, bro.
I'm getting upset thinking about this again. My fault.
That's all right, bro. That's all right. That's a fair play, man.
That literally, I wanted to walk away again and say, yo, fuck this. Like this is ridiculous now. What you mean it was all about me? I just apologized for my end of things. The things I said, the things I did, whatever. And honestly, I shouldn't have been apologizing. I didn't do anything wrong. I apologize to you. How can my text, how can my apology text include you in it or your end of it? That's not possible. Can I say, hey, actually, I'm sorry for X, Y, and Z on my end, and I'm sure you're sorry for X, Y, and Z on your end? I can't do that. I don't. How does my text coming from my perspective? How do you sit there and complain that it's about me? So now I'm back at square one with the same energy that I left from, that I was trying to get away from. To me, we went right back to the energy. Like I said, if I didn't text her, that energy still would have existed from the previous date. And now I'm back there at square one. So I can't even remember if they showed it or not, but now I'm upset. I'm back upset at this table. You know, I'm talking to her. She interrupted me again. Da-da-da. And I want to walk away so bad, but I don't. Bernicia and Tabaria right there, they're at the table with us. Bernicia kind of interjects and actually helps calm me down.
Is this on camera, this part?
It was filmed, but I'm not sure if it made it into the episode.
Yeah, I don't think we showed it. Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
I need something different. Okay.
And she's like, Dom, you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm good. I just need a second. And, you know, I forgot, Bernicia said, I forgot what she said, but it did calm me down. Bernicia was also like being logical in the situation. And Ashley was still being like emotionally, illogical. There was a part to where I'm talking, right? And what did she say? She was talking about like, what did she say? She's like, Dom, I'm only human. I only got 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 hands, 1 mouth. And then I was like, I said, you you also have 2 ears. And then she was like, and I know that. Like, what that mean? I said, it means you can listen more. You can actually listen to me. And then she just was still being very combative against me. And I'm just like, yo, this experience is turning negative at this point. It's been negative. And it's getting worse now. Because I don't want to do this anymore. But I don't know. I was that close to the end. I wanted to see it through. And I chose, after that, once I got calm again, at that point, I just want to see this through to the end.
Damn. So at any point did Ashley apologize for that comment about slap you comment?
No.
Did you bring it up to her again after?
I didn't, because she started, more problems arose when she said what'd she say? Oh, your text was all about you, and I only have 2 legs, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Like, more issues started coming up. So it's like, and I'm trying to address those issues live time, and she's still not taking accountability. So I think I was just so blown over the whole situation. Like, the slapping me comment, it didn't even stand out anymore. That whole situation at the table was just, problem.
Damn. All right. So then, obviously, at that point, you're done, right? At that point, you're done now. After the conversation you've learned and at the table, you're done the situation.
Yeah.
At that point, between there and between there, is that conversation on the table with Vernon and everything? Is that after she says she's gonna choose you or not choose you?
This is before.
Okay.
We said this is what you talking about? The slap conversation or at the actual mixer?
The mixer. That's talking about the mixer. Sorry,
Oh,
the mixer.
this is before she chooses me.
Okay, so the mixer happens. Okay, and then she gets to choose you. When she gets to say she's gonna choose you, does she know that you're done?
No, because this is a personally in my own self. I'm done.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you said to yourself that you're done,
Right? Yeah.
but,
So I
but you
said
haven't
it
told her.
after the slap comment, that conversation. That's when I was done. And then, like I said, 2 days went by, no communication at all. And that's when I, like I said, swallow my pride. I sent the apology text out. And then when we got to the mixer, oh, I got your text, but it was all about you and da-da-da. And I'm getting pissed off again. And now I'm just like, I'm literally just over this at this point. So, and she chooses me, and again, now I'm just at this point, like I said, I'm here to finish out the show at this point. This is clearly not going to work as a relationship. She is clearly not for me. She clearly doesn't respect me.
Come on.
So I'm here for the rest of the show. That's it. I'll say and do what I need to do at this point. But I'm cool.
I get that. So then, obviously, so she doesn't know that she doesn't know that you're quitting. She doesn't know that you're done. That's so she obviously then goes, to do the choosing aspect. So she doesn't know, right?
Right.
So when she does the choosing part, and she chooses. I think she chose herself, right? She said that we're gonna be friends, basically.
Yeah.
When you hear that she says you're gonna be friends, what was your response to that? Because she says you're going to be friends, and after the whole situation is kind of crazy, you've already said in your head you're not going to be doing this no more. She says you're going to be friends. What the what's that about then?
I guess the producers are saying, because the show is Make a Move, it's either a relationship or nothing. And she's saying she's not going to do that. It's going to be friends.
So she's saying she's not going to have either something or nothing. She wants to choose a middle ground, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, when she chose that middle ground, what did you say?
I agree. Oh, that's cool. Like I said, at this point, I'm just agreeing to whatever. I'm checked out. So I'm just on autopilot again to make it to the end at this point.
Why? Someone might ask, why did you even be comfortable with her saying, let's be friends, or agreeing to be in a friendship, or at least go along with it? Why not just say to her there and then, we ain't gonna be friends, we ain't gonna do nothing, because as far as I'm concerned, this is not becoming of a friendship either.
I don't know. Like I said, I was still on autopilot. Whatever she says, I'm cool with it. Now, if she told me like she's not choosing me, then I probably would have went off with everything I've been wanting to say. Because now all bets are off. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, friends, I'm still trying to look respectful and be respectful, and not look problematic. So friends, cool. Let's do that. That's fine.
I got that. I understand that. So then between then and reunion, what conversations are you guys having?
So after this, our final date was ziplining, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we had another dinner right after that they completely cut out.
Okay.
We after that very final date, she turned into a completely different person. She literally became this soft. Oh my God, don't like. Oh my God, we made it. Like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It was just total switch from all of this negative energy I done got from these previous past 2 dates. A complete total switch, and I'm just like, what? Like, I'm so confused. So then, after the film is done, right? I asked her. I said, "Yo, I legit felt like I got two different versions of you. I got the one on the show, that all the negative stuff, and then right when the show was done, I said, which one is the real you?" And she says, "That was all me, baby." And I was like, "Got it. Thanks for that. Now I know how I need to move." So we spoke just a few times in between the reunion, um, and then just a few times afterwards. And then once I actually started watching the show and I'm reliving these things that are happening, I'm totally done at this point. Like now, I don't want to be your friend. If that's the real you and that's what you were giving me, I don't want to be friends. That's not a friend right there. Like you said, that's not, no. None of my friends are like that. Now, if she had told me at the very end, like, Donald, post disclaimer, that was all for TV. I'm not like that. Da da da. If she had told me that, I could have accepted that, and we literally probably could have had a real friendship after that. But the fact that you told me that was really you, I'm cool. That's not for me. I'm good.
So that whole mad switch up suddenly becomes all nice, all good. Okay. You don't want to be. You said you don't want to be friends. Is that before the reunion?
No, so that before the reunion, again, we having a few conversations. We spoke on the phone just a couple times. I'm cool at this point. So me
What
truly
does
not
cool
wanting
mean?
to be friends happens once the show airs and I'm seeing everything live time.
Oh, okay, okay. So
Yeah,
you have a conversation after.
but
Okay.
right.
So,
But
okay, yeah.
before that, but in between end of filming and reunion, we were still cool. After reunion, still cool. And then once I'm seeing everything I dealt with and I'm reliving it, I can't.
Okay. So I just want to get so we can get a little time understanding
Yeah,
between last date and reunion.
yeah.
Is there much communication between last date reunion? Is there much communication?
There's not a bunch. Like I said, we're texting here and there. We're hopping on the phone here and there. We are talking though.
In what capacity?
Um, she
There's no
wants
shame here. I've
to
been there.
right. She wants to actually link up in person. I
Oh,
agreed to it, but my schedule literally just wasn't there. Um, I literally calculated the other day. I was out of the country. I was out of town, out of the country, on vacation, whatever. Uh, Literally just a little bit over 5 months out of last year. So I'm just constantly going, constantly. I just could not make it to Atlanta to see her. Um, and she never offered. Maybe she did. I don't know. I can't remember. but she was never adamant, I'll say, about coming. I actually moved back to North Carolina after the show ended. Um, and she was never adamant about coming to Charlotte to visit me. So we just didn't link up in between the end of the show and the reunion. And then reunion happened.
No, Don, I don't usually ask this question directly to people, but because I want to understand what the fuck is going on, okay? I want to understand because I've been in an emotionally abusive relationship, and I never thought I would be, but it happened to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to answer it direct. You know what I mean? A nod of the head, a blink of the eyes, we'll take it, okay? You don't have to answer direct. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I usually don't answer this question because I don't like asking it. But it's important to maybe try and understand how we're getting to this point, how we're able to keep being in the same, even being cool up until this point.
Right.
Did y'all Bluetooth connect? Did the Wi-Fi connect? Because it's not fully making sense as to how one stays in a situation this long. So did the Wi-Fi connect? Did the Bluetooth connect? Is this why? Because that would then make a bit more sense as to why people are so deeply invested, even when the situation is showing us that this ain't it. And I'm being deadly serious. You don't have to say it all outright, but
no, the Wi-Fi did not connect. I intentionally did not connect the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Because y'all saw the energy I was receiving. Imagine if I did connect that Wi-Fi.
I can only imagine.
That energy would have been exponential. And I was cool on that. I did not want that.
That's fair. I respect that.
So
pray for the best. I mean, when I
connect to the
Wi-Fi, I'm still paying for the Wi-Fi connected. So I hate what you were saying. So they know about me. Okay, no, I get that. I totally understand that. It's just because I wanted to make sure, because I was trying to understand how this is so deep at this point. Okay, so then you get to reunion. Y'all have had a few conversations, but you didn't meet up.
Mm-hmm.
Reunion happens. Obviously, we don't get to see anything behind the scenes. She then obviously talks about how, she's the star of the show. And, you mentioned a point. It was really odd. I don't know if they edited it a particular way or what, but you obviously say, her attitude is a particular way. Her attitude is a particular way and all that kind of stuff. And then she ends up saying, yes, I am the star of the show. Yes, it is all about me. But then flips it and says, that's not my energy if it was, da-da-da-da. So I just clear that up for us. Did that happen in the same space or did I literally, how did that get, it's just weird how it got edited. So I don't know.
So I just posted that clip the other day on my social media and I was trying to figure it out myself. That was the same, sentence. That wasn't that. I don't believe that was an edit. I can't fully remember, but I don't think it was. Because her and Lakeisha was saying something, right? And then Lakeisha was like, yo, that's my brother. I'm going to protect him. Da-da-da. And then Ashley literally said, I don't think a lot of people call it. She talking about, well, clearly the trauma didn't come from me. It clearly came from home. What are you talking about? Now, she just saying off the wall stuff now. Like, what trauma are you referring to? Like, I was confused right there. I was just like, yo, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. But she just saying off the wall stuff now, and I'm legit confused. Like, who's discussing trauma? Who's discussing, like, what are you referring to? That's what I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then, my whole issue, like, the whole time I told her, like, about interrupting me, da-da-da. And I even said, So when I said, I told her I didn't like what was being said. You know, the host is like what? I said, I'm the star of the show. She's like, I am. She interrupts me still. I am. It's all about me. It is. You here for me. You are. I'm not even talking to you, and she's still interjecting herself into my conversation. And then there was another clip close by to where she talking about, right after that, talking about, that's not even the energy I was giving you. I ain't never gave you that energy. I'm like, wait. I was just like, okay, I'm just, all right. I don't know if you, wait, I'm gonna try to show you something right quick. I posted this on my social media.
Wild.
This was my reaction to that. Let me find it real quick. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Give me a second. I don't know if you can see that. I posted this. You see it? You saw it with the LeBron when he was like to J.R. Smith? That was my that was my reaction to the whole situation. I couldn't do it. Everybody said they commend me for, you know, how calm I remained and all of that, and I actually commend myself. I did remain calm, but it's like, yo, that doesn't.
At what cost?
Right. That stuff doesn't go away, you know. And when I look back, I keep saying I enjoyed the experience, but when I look back, these negative experiences with her stand out the most. You know, the positive things get overshadowed. Like I said earlier, that was super dope that she hopped in to take the final 10 push-ups when we lost the bet to Cam and Zadia. But that means nothing when you start showing me and keep reiterating that you don't respect me. That means nothing at that point.
So obviously that situation happened. Where did you go? What happened with this whole running off the stage? What happened there, Don?
Oh, I think the whole set of, I think they got some pent up energy. I think they just need to do it. And somebody was like, yeah, I agree. They should just do it. And then Ashley was like, come on, let's go. And she grabbed my hand. We just ran off. Like, we didn't really actually have sex.
I got that. It was that you run off, you know, you run off into the background. But there was anything that was said?
No, nothing was spoken about. That was simply a show thing. We ran off backstage, and then when it was time, they brought us right back. Like I said earlier, if she had stated to me, she could have just gave me the Vegas kind of like, Donald, just know all of that was for TV. I could have accepted that. But when you told me, you admitted that all of that was actually you. Thank you for that. God bless.
When you look back at the show now, obviously you get to see her connection with Kirsten. What did you make of it?
It didn't faze me at all. Like, that was cool. Again, I'm only fazed by me reliving my moments. You know, again, getting booted over some text messages that you did get. Later on, you know, I'm getting the disrespect. I slapped the shit out of you. Kirsten isn't, you know, I clearly made it to the end by that point. You know what I'm saying? When I'm looking back, so I'm not affected by the situation at all. Like I said, me and him, the first time I ever was in the same space with him was at the reunion. Now, you know, had me and him met prior to that, and we were in the same space a couple times, things, you know, that could have been different, but I didn't meet him until that day. So their situation has absolutely no effect, no weight, no anything, no energy on me. So
Tough one there. Tough one there. Okay, no, I definitely hear what you're saying on that respect. It's a tough one there, as well. Boy, I guess obviously coming to the end of this particular show, and you now getting to leave. Question someone might ask is: were you allowed to leave the show? Did production try to stop you leaving the show?
that I don't know, but I would have to believe you could be able to leave the show, because there's such a large pool of guys in the background, you know, especially with like the blind dates, right? They can fill anybody in, but it's like, yo, even with a contract, you can't force me to continue on with this person if I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because look at Kirsten, look at the reunion. He sat there and literally said nothing. So it's like, all right, if y'all not gonna let me go, I'm gonna show up and make y'all let me go, if that was the case. But I don't believe it was. I believe you could leave at any moment. Like, if it really ain't for you, then you need to leave. You know what I'm saying?
Looking back at it now, I know you handled it very calmly, but would you say that parts of the way you handled it was a bit too passive with Ashley? Or you let it go on too long, would you say, in some parts, to get to this point?
Yes. Definitely a lot of it was passive. And like I say, you know, I tried to talk to her a couple times, but she didn't take accountability, and non-accountability is extremely problematic for me. And that's what upsets me the most out of anything. So if I see you not taking accountability, in order for me to not get upset, I just got to skip past it like it did, like it didn't happen. Like, if you want to move past, like you just didn't say or do that, I'm willing to do that just to get, you know, past it, so I won't become angry or upset. Like I said, I tried to talk to her a couple times. All I received was interruption, interjection, narrative control, uh, and her side of things. It's either her way or the highway. So it, like, you
Do you
know,
think...
I'm
No,
sorry,
go
go
for
ahead.
it, go for it. No, go for it,
I
bro.
was
Sorry,
saying,
you're
someone was
finishing your
asking me
point.
yesterday, in real life, you know, what would I've done differently? Like, in real life, if those
This
things
was
are
real life.
happening and you stop and you don't take accountability, we're done right there. There's nothing further for me to talk about. When something happens, that's already technically strike one. When I bring it to you to, you know, let you know how I felt about it, you not taking accountability live time, that's strike 2 and 3 for me. And then I'm out. I'm done right there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Obviously, in real life, someone might say, but the show is real life. So why didn't you just walk away, Don? Maybe not after the phone text situation, because that can, you know, you can work through that. But when it got
Yeah.
to a point, one or two more times that you're seeing the craziness pop out, why didn't Don walk away? Has Don fully got to a point where he's able to choose himself first? I know you've been doing the work, so I know you're in the
Yeah.
work, so I'm not saying disputing that. I'm saying, is there still some parts of you that are struggling with, not even say struggling, but are still working on the parts of putting you first in a situation? Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And no, that's not the case. Again, the it really became a problem for me at the picnic table with the DMX comment. That conversation, that date. That's when I actually got pissed off.
Okay.
That's when I was done. So we already at like episode 8 at this point. So again, after that, all right, we get to the mixer and she's doubling down on however she thinks and interrupting me, all that. I'm just here to make it to the end of the show at this point. I'll continue on to the end. That's it. And we at the end. That's now episode 9. One more date, and then the reunion. Like, so I'm already at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was,
So you're already almost end.
Right.
So you must just complete it.
Right. TV wise, there's no reason for me to walk away now.
Okay.
But yeah, no, real life, I would not deal with that. Like me, if me and a person like Ashley, if we dated in real life and the same things happen in real life, we don't make it past date number 2. Like, matter of fact, no, even the Textgate, like you said, I don't make it past Textgate in real life. If you let me go because you supposedly didn't get my text and I got proof that I showed you, all right, then. You don't, all right, cool. I'm done. You don't need to receive them. We're good. Take care. Be blessed.
Was any part of you trying to save Ashley?
No. I tried to. She showed me who she was very quickly, and she remained who she was. So, no, there was nothing to save. This is who she is, and that's fine. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not, the old me would try to convince somebody to be who they're not. If that's who you truly are, like you said, like you admitted and you truthfully said so, then that's who you are, and that's fine. That's just not a person for me.
So you feel like she's been that same way from the very beginning to the end?
Yes. Like we had some good moments. We had some very good laughs. When it was positive, I thoroughly enjoyed that. But then the negatives started overshadowing the positives. And the positives they got buried at a certain point.
I hear that. So where are you and Ashley now? You guys in a good place, bad place, talking, not talking?
I guess not talking. I haven't heard from her, haven't spoke to her. I haven't reached out. She hasn't reached out. So, and again, after I saw the show and again, I'm reliving it, I'm just like, I'm cool. I'm cool.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah. If what I just again saw or watched, again, this is my second time living this. If that's really you in real life, I'm absolutely cool on that.
I hear that. I definitely hear that.
Yeah.
Definitely hear that. Anything else that you haven't addressed that you feel like you want to address that happened on the show? Because I know sometimes we miss and forget stuff that happened on the show. Was there anything else that you wanted to address? Yes, Captain, go for it.
They completely cut this out. When Ashley kept saying she wanted me to be more comfortable, right? I said, all right, I'm going to get extra comfortable. So I showed up to the next mixer with some slides on. Some black slides from Walmart. And it was jokingly, it's a joke because she kept telling me to get more comfortable. Like literally just like some little rubber slides you would wear like at a pool. I showed up as a joke and she laughed about it, haha, but they completely cut out all of that. I did like a little side interview about it. Like, to me, that was kind of whack that they could just completely cut it out. No mention of it, nothing. And I'm like, I thought that would have been funny but because she had kept telling me to get more comfortable. You know, but zero mention of it. Completely just that footage is gone. Like, so there was a lot more. There were several more moments like that to where they completely cut out. So you know, so to see it right now, right? It's like, wow, some really, to me, dope moments, some dope, genuine moments were cut out completely, and it's like, well, damn, if you cut out watching it, if you cut out the genuine moments, and now there's more negative moments than genuine moments, it's like your audience starts asking, well, Donald, why did you stay? Why did you continue on? You know what I'm saying? So it just sucks that, you know, in the edit room that a lot of great stuff got cut out.
I hear that. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think just listening to your situation, like, you know, it's a shame that obviously you've had to go through something similar again once more, you know, another toxic situation in this respect. Of course, you know, you've had to, you know, I think calmly, and I think people underestimate as well that as a man in these toxic situations, as much as I know that, you know, it's number one, and I will talk about, I think there's some accountability on your behalf. What I will say is, it's also a very tricky situation to deal with. When women become toxic this way, you need to do one thing or say one thing, and it doesn't matter how much she's done, you instantly become the villain. You know what I mean? And you instantly get labeled as something. So I definitely commend you for remaining calm, especially when she was, you know, threatening to, you know, actually threatening to slap you in the face in a sense by making the comments that she did. You know, I think it's disgraceful that she actually dropped those lines on national television. It's ridiculous. I think the other side, though, maybe the accountability aspect, though, is, you know, Don, I'm looking at the situation, I'm like, because you've been in this situation several times before, the red flags would have been glaring from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, she was the exact same way at the beginning as she is in the end. Right? For some reason, unfortunately, or fortunately, it could be because maybe you had other ulterior motives, which is fair. I'm not mad at it. We're on a TV show. You know, I feel like there were red flags that were missed. Now, that doesn't remove her accountability, which I think what you actually went through is an abusive situation. I'm being honest with you, from what you described, right? Doesn't remove any accountability on her behalf of being abusive, and I would never remove the accountability on that respect. And I think when we have her on the channel, we will obviously address that with her. But when you describe it, it is the responses to when, like, for instance, when she's been disrespectful, when she's been controlling, when she has said certain things, and it's tallying up, and it's got to a point where we've got to the end, and we're now becoming apathetic. What that means is that you become almost like disengaged or numb. So instead of actually having an active response, which would have been, actually, when you said you were done, you should have quit. That would have been an active response to what you're seeing right in front of you, right? But you became apathetic, which means that you disengaged. You just switched off the engine. Rather than getting out of the car and walking off, you switched off the engine.
Right.
And that, I guess maybe from my perspective, might show that there's still a little bit of work that we got to do going forward. And you're not the only one. This includes me too, right? Because I've been in a situation like this as well. That becoming apathetic is a way of almost not necessarily having the solutions or the tools to deal with the thing that's right in front of you, right? And, you know, respect is one of those things that that as an individual person, respect is one of those things where, or I should say, even being able to command your space and your territory, your domain, you yourself, making sure that you let people know what your boundaries are. You know, you learn how to be able to set firm foundations of boundaries for people to let them know that when they're disrespecting, X, Y, and Z, right?
Right.
Because it's really interesting that when you said in your head, you said you quit in your head, but you didn't tell her.
Right.
So in her head, she still got to make the choice about whether you were gonna stay or go. And I was like, that's because you turned off the engine.
Yeah.
You didn't actually get out of the car. So there's still a little bit left to go. You
Yeah.
stopped it becoming more toxic by switching off the engine. It just needed to switch off the engine and then to walk out of the
Right.
situation, removing yourself from it, because that person was still having access to you. Ashley was
Right.
still having access to you. Even after that, there's still texting and conversation still going on after. There's
Right.
still messaging going after. And actually, she's still having some level of access to Don. And even though you're not giving her access maybe romantically, still she's able to access you, and she's going to access you usually through the emotional portals, right?
Right.
She's going to access you through conversation, going to access you through even you just being nice, and her just saying, hey, maybe she even says, I just need a little bit of advice. Don's going to be well, I'm a nice guy, I'm going to give her the advice. I don't hate her. But actually, when we do that, what we're actually also doing is we're just switching off the engine. We're not removing ourselves from the situation and saying, actually, I'm actually revoking access, because what you're doing is detrimental to not only you, but to me too. Right? And today you're good, but tomorrow you're going to be again. You're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to do that flip-flop that you like to do whenever you feel like it, right? So I just think that there's that little extra aspect where I think that we could have got that one step further. But I'm really glad, and I sit here and I appreciate you, bro, man to man, that you didn't have a response. Because I can guarantee you, everybody saying about you should walk out. If you had responded, they'll be like, oh my God, he responded. Men don't know anything. Men are misogynistic. Would have had a whole bunch of rhetorics, irrespective of her being emotionally abusive to you and starting to threaten you. In that regard, right? And so you never win as a man, right? So I really do commend you for not actually responding to it, and actually, getting riled up to a point where you had to get into the person's space. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
do commend you for that. That next step is to switch off the engine and then open the car door, close it, and say, Madon,
Right.
bye-bye. No more access. I got to keep my boundaries.
Push it off the
You
bridge.
can't. Yeah, no more.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know if that makes
I totally
sense.
get
I
what
don't
you're
know if that
saying.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
I totally understand what you're saying.
So, Don, we've come to the end of the conversation. So, talk to me. Is there anything that you're doing at the moment, anything that you are working on that you love to just kind of, let people get behind and support and uplift?
Um, I have a few films in the works. They're currently in pre-production. All I can say is, stay tuned with updates from my social media or my website, iamdonaldwilson.com. All my social media is I am Donald Wilson. I would love for, support on those. That's about it. Just my filmmaking. That's where the really big push is going to be moving forward. And
I love it.
I think I'm gonna try to link with some of the fellows from the show, and I think I'm gonna try to do something.
Cool.
Make like a little video or something, little something about the guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to link with them and make something happen from that.
Listen, man, I'm always here to support. So if anything I can do to support you guys or host maybe a conversation on our channel, I'll always be happy to do so. So just shout me if you ever need any of that kind of support in that arena as well. We love to try and support the men's kind of initiatives, I think, because it's important to have more of those conversations. I think it's bouncing. And again, I really do appreciate you sharing your story, not only about Ready to Love, but also your journey pre-Ready to Love as well. And, I just wish you the best in your growth and your journey, and you taking your therapy seriously and trying to introspectively grow from that perspective as well, and learning from films and TV, like whatever is going to help you grow and self-develop, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? And I appreciate it, bro. Like, I'll probably stay in contact and we can, keep those kind of conversations going on. But no judgment here. It's just us just kind of understanding you. And thank you again once more for sharing your perspective as well, Captain.
Got you. Thank you. I appreciate you having me too. Definitely been an enlightening conversation, especially with the whole getting out the car and walking away thing. I'm realizing there's a lot of times I should have got out the car and walked away. So I never, definitely a different perspective there. So I appreciate that.
I appreciate it, bro. No worries at all. It's a pleasure. Listen, audience, we appreciate y'all. And thank you for sticking with us the last 3 hours. It's been a really good conversation. And I really do appreciate Dom for sharing his perspective. I will try and get Ash on there as well. I did hit her up, so she did say she would do it. So we'll see when we'll arrange that time, because we need to get our perspective as well. And I'll try and get a few other fellas as well. I've got Kirsten, I've got Maurice, and I've got Manzel to hit up. So I'll try and hit them up so we can get them the rest of the week and next week going in. Look, tomorrow it starts again, the brand new Ready to Love again once more. So I know you guys will enjoy that. Look out for more of the interviews that are coming down as well going forward. But make sure if you haven't done so, like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of uploads. We really do appreciate y'all as well. And thank you for those 900 people that turned out strong today. We appreciate y'all for coming through and showing love. We'll see you again very, very soon. Much appreciation.